Black Alpha Network. Power to the people.
I want to talk about how foundational Black Americans are the standard of blackness on the planet Earth. We all know that, but I want to talk about the reasons why. And I really want to brag a little bit because, you know, I like to brag, and that's a good thing. So I want to break it down and chop it up on how we are the standard of blackness and everybody follows us and everybody wants to do what we want to do. You know what I'm saying? Burna Boy, you know, Afro Beats and all these people out here trying to duplicate our culture, trying to duplicate our style and just every single thing we do, you know, so let's have a good tether roast. So anybody wants to come on up, come on up. I know Twitter been acting real funny style lately. And I know Zilla trying to come up. I see my brother Sage in here. So anybody wants to come on up and hold it down, you already know how we run things over here. Blueberry, you go ahead and set things off. You want to go ahead and chop it up while I get my brother situated. But one love to you, sister. You can go ahead and set it off right.
Hi, good afternoon, good evening. Thank you, Black Alpha. Thank you, Queen Alpha. How you doing, sis? And Sage and everybody out here. This morning, I went to a Zoom meeting about this New Deal for New American Act, a national partnership for New Americans. There's a congressional bill that's up called H.R. 1308. Basically, it was introduced by 3 Congress people, one of whom includes my congressional representative, but also Grace Ming, that Grace Ming who worked with Obama to get rid of the Negro category and with the OMB a couple of years back. And this H.R. 1308, look it up. Look up H.R. 1308, which basically gives rights to non-U.S. nationals. The Democrat Party has basically pivoted away from Black Americans with this H.R. 1308. I'm not going to insult anybody's intelligence. And it's far too much for me to go into detail here, but look it up, H.R. 1308, co-sponsored by House Representatives Grace Ming, Democrat out of New York, Democrat out of Washington State, Pramila Jayapal, Democrat out of Illinois, which represents part of Chicago, Chuy Garcia, Senator Ed Markey out of Massachusetts. Folks, what they're doing is basically ethnocide of foundational Black Americans. The Democrats have pivoted away from us completely. They're giving our stuff away to people who are not even legal residents. They don't even have permanent residency here. The proposals that they have in there includes waiving English proficiency requirements for new citizens, reducing the fees for immigration-related services, setting up a White House level position for an advocacy group to get folks over here. A White House level advocacy position for nonprofit agencies to take our tax dollars to bring non-U.S. nationals over here and advocate for policies for non-U.S. nationals, folks. This is why you need to start at the local and state levels and start lighting fires under people's butts. And with that, I'll yield my time.
Hey, I appreciate that, sister. I'm definitely going to look that up. Hey, if you got any information that you could either DM me or throw that in the Jumbotron, I highly appreciate that.
For sure.
All right. I know Twitter being janky right now, but it's all good because this ain't really that complicated to break down. We all see what's going on right now in terms of everybody trying to get in on our culture, and the Democrats and the Republicans and everybody understand that both these parties, they get along when it comes to trying to, you know, reduce foundational Black Americans. That's what they do. They'll hate each other all day long. They can't agree on anything. But when it comes to hating on us, then all of a sudden they become besties. And that's what we're seeing right now. So foundational Black Americans, we are the standard. Everybody's seen what Burna Boy came out and said, and now he's trying to backtrack, and they love to do that. They love to say something about us, and then they try to backtrack whenever we start calling them out, because that's what we do very, very proficiently. But so the whole situation right now revolving that, we seen what went on with the situation with Afro beats thing at the NBA All-Star Weekend. They try to jam that down our throat. They try to bring in these actors and actresses from everywhere else so they can all basically try to erase foundational Black Americans. And that's what we're dealing with right now. Family is an erasure. It's an erasure of our culture. They don't have a problem with having Black people. They just want Black people who are non-FBA. Because if you're a non-FBA Black person, then 9 times out of 10, you're submissive, you're docile, and you just go along to get along. And that's something that foundational Black Americans don't do. We don't just go along to get along. We run shit. And we do it in our professional manner. So they have a whole apparatus on trying to replace us. And they really cannot stand the fact that foundational Black Americans have become so powerful where we are the standard. Anytime you look around the world, people are duplicating us. Anybody who's ever left this country, the first thing that you realize is that FBA, everybody's duplicating us. Everybody's trying to mimic us. They dress like us. They walk like us. The standard of a Black woman is not no queen in Egypt 2,500 years ago. It's a foundational Black American woman today. When you see these folks all across the world in these different continents, they're trying to dress like our sisters. When you see these guys running around the whole world, they're trying to dress like our brothers. They're trying to use our vernacular. They're trying to speak like us, walk like us, and talk like us. It's not going to work. That is not going to work at all because we are owning things. And the very fact that we're owning our culture and our heritage, we let people know you're going to duplicate us anyway. You're going to try to act like us anyway. We just putting a flag by it so you know the person that you're trying to speak like, the person you're trying to walk like and talk like is a foundational Black American. That's how we are. That's how we've always been. So we've been the standard of Blackness for a long time, a very long time. And people have to understand that it isn't nothing new. We have been the standard of Blackness. All right, Marcel, I'm trying to get you up. Oh, there you go. I got you. You got through, brother. What's good, brother Marcel, my low country family?
Hey, Black Alpha, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you, man. I know everybody's been having an issue. I tell everybody try to download the app on Galaxy Store. It's been working from what I heard, but I can hear you, brother. You made it through, family.
Okay, yes, that's what I did as well. And I'm asking because I'm in Charleston right now because I'm handling some things just like over here. But anyway, yeah, I just want to talk about FBA being the standard of Blackness in the world. First of all, you can tell it's the standard, period. Not just of Blackness, but when it comes to music, food, fashion, science, you name it. But I was talking with someone about this Burna Boy situation, and I said to them, you know, if he talk about we need to come home and find out truth, then why is he here? And they was like, well, he stays in Nigeria. I said, okay, he stays in Nigeria, but whose style does he imitate? Whose swagger is he trying to imitate so he can get big? I said, second of all, he's so worried about us coming together over here. I've been to Nigeria. I said, okay, so if going home is the answer, they have to explain why so many of our quote-unquote brothers and sisters are struggling over there in the continent. They have to explain why they have so much ethnic and tribal strife between each other over there in the continent, especially his home nation of Nigeria. And this whole thing about we don't know where we're from, I don't know who told them that is that's a bragging point or that's some type of clap back towards us. That's the dumbest thing. That makes dumb look bad. We don't need to know where we're from because we are still in the place where we're from. You are only from another place because you ran the hell from where you're home. You ran the hell out of your home nation. You abandoned them when you were needed. So you could talk about where you're from because you're no longer there. I don't need to tell you where I'm from because I'm still there. I'm still here. Okay? And I'm glad we've been clapping back at that talking point. It was a sister in TikTok that did it, and I see a young brother, and I guess he's in London, and he did it. We've been here for 400 to 500 years, minimum. How long do you have to be in a place before you are able to say, this is our home? Second thing, I'm proud of being from South Carolina. You ask some of them where they're from, and they can just point to some village. Okay, and I don't look down on people in the village. When I was in Kenya, for example, I visited villages and I had a great time. I found out that the people in these villages, they were well read. I was afraid of going to some of these villages because I was like, what if it's not clean? And they try to offer me food. I don't want to be rude and decline. But no, these villages were spotless. The people knew about everything going on in the world. You know, I was very impressed, and I had a great time there. But you see, that's what we do. We don't go to other people's nations denigrating them or looking down on them. We usually go there showing the utmost respect. And if we're going to say anything of criticism, it's going to be something to help them. It's going to be something that they invited us in which to participate. It's going to be something that we're doing in the spirit of working with them to help better them, not just showing up in their country, leeching off of them, at the same time criticizing them, looking down at them. But back to what I was saying, though. I'm from South Carolina. I'm proud to be from here. This is the state that had the most slave revolts during the days of American chattel slavery. This is a state that after the Civil War ended, the U.S. military came because they were trying to take back the land, the little bit that was actually given out under Special Field Order 15, and we raised so much hell that they left us alone. And that's why some black South Carolinians were able to hold on to their property on the Sea Islands and in the coastal plain. This is the state from where Miriam Elizabeth Benjamin is from, the lady that invented the gong and signal chair that we use today in hospitals, on airplanes, and sometimes you go to the movie theaters and you get those VIP seats and you can press a button to page a waiter or a waitress. That was invented by a black woman from South Carolina. The guy that invented the bread crumbler, which revolutionized the food industry by introducing the method of breading, croutons and things of that nature. He was from South Carolina. I think his name was Horace, that's Joseph Lee. Horace King was considered to be the best bridge builder in the United States of America in the 1800s. He was from South Carolina. South Carolina was also home to snake doctors. Now, some days we want to call them root doctors. They were so talented at treating the body, mind, and soul that some of them, a lot of them were emancipated because they were considered to be such precious and need to be protected. Of course, all of our people were. And of course, I'm saying rice. You know, rice was the first source of significant wealth for the British colonies. It made South Carolina one of the richest places in the world, and Charleston at one point was the richest city in the world. We know it never benefited us, but it was our intellect that led to it. So the point of the matter is, why would I want to give up being from here? They, in that video with the young black man who's a black American, and he was talking to those two ladies, and one of them was like, well, we asked a black American where they're from. They say like California. Okay, yeah, that's because that's where the hell they're from. And if you ask me where I'm from, I'm going to say South Carolina. And I'm going to stand on that proudly because I can list to you a whole litany of accomplishments, okay? Whereas you are from a place that's majority black and you have a Chinaman beating you with bamboo sticks. That's your accomplishment. So I suggest they shut the hell up and they stop saying that point before they get their feelings hurt.
Marcel, what you feel about all that shutdown stuff going on over there, brother? You think it's going to go anywhere?
What's going on now? Hold on, I must have missed something.
Yeah, there's like this whole thing right now where a lot of the Africans are trying to basically have political shutdowns. You know, all the elections they got going on over there, and they're basically saying that they're trying to step up to the plate and get rid of the colonizers, but they're getting a lot of pushback, brother. They're trying to hate on Molina and everybody, fam. Yeah, check it out. I think it's trending. If actually Africa and the shutdown, whenever you see that, it's referencing that over there. But I heard you got a lot of the people over there, they're completely okay with the colonizer, and it's kind of them going back and forth.
Oh,
you know that?
They are. First of all, when I was in Kenya, and I've shared this with y'all before, when I was in Kenya, I went to this ancient city called Getty. It's an ancient city of stones. It's really cool. It has indoor plumbing. You know, they found old scissors from Spain. They found some type of spice bottles from India, all types of cool artifacts there. They had like a speaker system where they kind of did indentations in the stone walls, and they did it because they were Muslims and they do the daily prayers. So you were speaking to these indentations, your voice will echo throughout the city. And when you come there, monkeys come from all over the place, and monkeys supposedly guard the city. It was fantastic. I'm touring the city, and this black Kenyan man, I said to him, so I didn't ask him. My friend, who's a Kenyan man, asked him who built it. And this man said the Arabs. And when they say Arabs, they're not talking about the black ones. They talk about the white skin, olive skin ones. He was wrong. And I argued with him. So we went to Fort Jesus, which is in Mombasa, Kenya. And my Kenyan friend had asked them the same thing. Who built Getty? And he said the Arabs. Didn't even know their own history. So I went ballistic. So it took me, and I have news for you. I actually printed this on my Twitter account before if you want to find it. I ain't about to look it up because I don't feel like digging all those tweets. I wrote an article I sent it to the Kenya Museum of Archaeology and Culture. They ignored me, and I'm not one to be ignored. So I sent it to the Daily Nation, which is the main newspaper over there in Kenya, and they publish it. It caused a backlash, not towards me, but towards the black Kenyans who were saying that the white Arabs built all the Swahili monuments. It got so bad that the curator or the manager of the historical archaeological sites had to write me personally and send me photos of him training those black kids to learn their damn history. The point I'm making is I had to argue down with black Africans in Kenya about their own history because they were so willing to give it to the white man. And my friend who I went with, he was sitting there, and I went off for him. I said, how can you sit here and be okay with them telling your two black Kenyan daughters that they accomplished nothing? They were just servants to the white Arabs in their own land. I got on him for that. I said, that's cowardly. And then I'm going to visit this place called Boma's. Bomas are part in Kenya. They show like the indigenous homes of all the different tribes. And these white tourists were there saying, oh, I wouldn't even put my dog in that. I said, bitch, your fucking grandfather still lives in that. And they told me, oh, calm down, calm down. You have too thin skin. I said, no, y'all have too thick skin. Y'all skin so thick, they beating your ass and you don't even feel it. So they are seriously pathetically cowards, a lot of them over there. They are absolute pathetic cowards. The ones who fought back were the ones that they had to partner with the Europeans to subjugate and conquer. And those were our ancestors because they don't got no kind of fighting spirit over there. I tell my fiance all the time, Nigeria has like 255 million people. No one really knows the number, but it's somewhere in that family. Y'all got 46 to 50 old men selling y'all out, 5 Chinamen beating your ass with bamboo sticks, and 10 Englishmen who are milking your continent of all its resources, running everything. Why are y'all not standing up? He tells me, well, they'll kill us if we do. Okay, well, you're dying already. Hell, they're killing you already. The same attitude I have with us. Y'all talk about something, they're going to kill us. They're killing us already. We ain't safe by not fighting back. Not fighting back puts us more in danger. It's a serious mentality of cowardice over there. So there are some that are on code. Unfortunately, those that are on code are going to turn around and see that the majority of them are just fine with the colonizers, just fine with living in poverty. As long as they can go and bow down to white Jesus, they're perfectly fine with that. And I feel sorry for the ones that are on code. Now, I will say this, though. There is a little bit of an uprising happening. You know, Mali sent out the French. What other Mali, I know Mali. I forgot the other countries. I know Mali recently kicked the French out. And only they kicked the French out, they kicked out some of the black ones sitting there talking about, so we must work with the French. So there is a bit of an uprising, but I think that's still a rarity. Now, hopefully, the number that are cowards is declining, and the ones that are on court is increasing. I hope so. But the experience I had when I was over there, especially when I was in Kenya, a lot of cowardice. A lot of these white people denigrate them. And when I was in Nigeria, instead of them rallying around the fact that they're all black, like they want to tell us to do, they don't even identify as black. They don't even unite around blackness. They divide themselves among tribes. So the only time they want to try to identify themselves as black is when they're trying to take credit for the accomplishment that largely black Americans have accomplished. Other than that, they don't identify as black. They narrow themselves down to Nigerian, and then they narrow them. No, they say African. Nope, they don't want that. They narrow themselves down to Nigerian. Nope, they don't want that. They narrow themselves down to whatever tribe they are part of. And then after they narrow themselves down so much, they realize, oh, hell, we ain't never accomplished nothing. Hell, all we accomplished was getting colonized. So, yeah, they are the ones who need to be trying to unite over there instead of worry about what we got over here. Because it was so popping over there, like I told my fiance, Burna Boy wanted to stay have his ass over here. Because he knows this is where he gets put on game at.
Man, Burna Boy, let me tell you about Burna Boy. I'm glad you said that because Burna Boy, this guy running around here acting like he's a foundational black American. He acting like he every goddamn thing. He act like he from South Carolina, North Carolina, Atlanta, Chicago, California, New York. And this guy is fleeing from his homeland exactly right the same time while he's trying to perpetrate like us. And it's funny how all these people use, you all know the term AAVE. African American Vernacular English. Everybody, that's the term right now. And these people will sit here and diss us in our own slang. why they say we don't have a culture, all at the same time. But they'll be speaking like us. They'll be talking like us. They'll be acting like us. What we have to come to the realization is that we are the Mecca of Blackness. I'll never say we the motherland. We're not the motherland, okay? Because the mother's the mother. The mother is the one with billions of people that go back millions of years. But we are definitely the Mecca. We are the Mecca right here. Hey, Marcel, well, I still got you, family. What do you always say about people when they say Africa's the motherland and how the mother needs to act like the mother?
Oh, I always said yes. Okay, I feel that Africa's the motherland, and if she is, she's the most neglectful, most pathetic mother there is. What mother would sit there and sacrifice her children and then sacrifice them to quote unquote people who are absolute disgusting, despicable, subhuman trash monsters, know they're being tortured and not even do as much as launch a spear their way to help save them? Then when you saw your children being lynched, having their land stolen, you not once made an initiative politically to advocate for your children. And now, after your children have managed to survive and thrive in spite of you, and they're still fighting to survive, you don't come over to help your children get what's owed to them. You come over to denigrate your children. You come over to take advantage of what your children did in spite of you and in spite of your neglect. So if Africa's the mother, she's the worst damn mother I've ever goddamn seen.
Somebody called child services on Africa because that mother need to be locked up. They need to take them babies. I'm sorry. All right. And that's just what's going to have to happen to Africa, because Africa don't give a damn about what goes on over here. And do y'all notice that they was running all that? Y'all stay away, y'all caught us. As soon as we start saying reparations, as soon as we start saying cash payments, then all of a sudden it's the brotherhood. They never wanted to be on no brotherhood. Anybody in here who's old enough to remember, that brotherhood stuff didn't come around until recently. That's within the last, I would say, 5 to 10 years, particularly the last 5 years. Go ahead, brother. Speak on it.
Yeah, that's absolutely true, brother. Because, I mean, one thing that they were not doing was rocking with foundational Black Americans at all. And, I mean, all of this is I would say, the whole brothers thing, I would say maybe within the last 2.5 to 3 years. And that's only because the conversation of reparations has become so much in the forefront that even white Democrats, white Republicans are out here talking about reparations now. So all of a sudden, it's became real to a lot of these Africans who were before stay away Akata, you know, and because I mean they got songs about staying away from us. They got, and these are what's so crazy. It's actually a rap song about staying away from us. So you're jacking our style while trying to shit on us at the same time. But that's the nature of a third world bastard. So what I'm seeing right now is, hey man, we got to get together now because we all brothers, and you guys, what are you guys gonna do with all of that 17 trillion? And see, it's a lot of that. You hear Akon will diss us with one side of his face, and then with the next side of his face start campaigning for our pockets. So yeah, I'm seeing a lot of that about that, but it's what it is to me. It's just dirtbag behavior. That's dirtbag behavior, and we don't come from that culture. And something that I just recently, came to the conclusion of why we can't work together like that is because we're not colonized. We don't have a colonized mind. And so we can't be brothers because we have two completely different ideologies. So yeah, we may be family, but we ain't of the same house. And I'm glad that we are definitely starting to keep it that way. And they're sad that they can't go to the bank with us.
Hey, they ain't never coming to our bank, family. Hell no. Marcel, go ahead, family.
One point I want us all to always bring up. Whenever you have any of our quote-unquote people, and I put that quotation mark, so some of them might not be us either, but whenever you have any of us talk about, we need to unite, or we be xenophobic, those are brothers, ask them, where was that energy for them when they come out with whole words, just describe us, derogatory words? You will not find a word that Black Americans created specifically to denigrate people from the African continent, from the Caribbean. But they have whole words specifically to insult us. That was not coming from us. That was coming from them. You do not have a history of us fleeing and flooding their nations. The only time a significant number of us, even then it was a very, very, very small number, went to live in another country was either, well, one, Liberia, and again, that was a very small number. That was by force a lot of times. A lot of times we were forced to go to Liberia because the majority of us that went to Liberia came back. But the second time to Haiti. But guess what? Even then, in the 1800s, in the 1850s, at the time of American chattel slavery being sky high, our people did not want to leave the nation. A lot of the few free Black Americans that went to Haiti went not because we needed to go there, went because we were convinced it would help them. Frederick Douglass and some of them, I don't know about Frederick Douglass, let me take that back, but some of the Black abolitionists said to our people, we can help make Haiti like a beacon for Black Negroes in the world. And to support that vision, some of us went to Haiti, but the majority of, I think like 80 to 90% came back to America. And this was how America was steeped in chattel slavery. It was goals to show we've never wanted to leave our home, but we've always tried to act in a sense to help all Black people in the world. I want people to show me movements they've done to help all Black people in the world, or specifically Black Americans, because we stay including other people in our movements. And again, no one's ever able to answer the question, those who are so bothered by what they think are quote-unquote diaspora wars, where is this outrage when we are disrespected by them, as we have been for them for decades, and they've been in our nation? Where is the outrage when they are calling us Akata, when they are calling us Jareer, when they are calling us Yankees, when they are saying we just don't work hard, when they are saying there's no excuse to be poor or struggling in America, pretty much saying to us that we're making excuses and that the centuries and centuries of anti-Black terrorism has not had and still does not have a deleterious impact on us. Where are these so-called, these Pan-Africans who are off cold? Because you could be Pan-African, be on cold. But the ones who are off cold, who want to put their little sorry-ass feelings and cry their little tears when we are checking the people from the continent, from the Caribbean or other parts of the world who are Black, where is their outrage for us when we are being insulted? I ask that all the time, and I never, ever, ever get a response. We need to start asking them that question more often and not letting them get away without answering it. Because that is a very important question. Where is the outrage only towards us when we are checking the hell out of them, which we're going to continue to do, and we're going to do it unapologetically? Because you see, this is not our grandparents or parents' generation. We are not on that love your enemy stuff. We on that make your enemy pay and suffer for what they've done. Okay? We're on that eliminate your enemy energy. So whenever they want to try to cry on the behalf of these other Blacks that are attacking and disrespecting us, but meanwhile are leeching off us, imitating us, or living in our nation, which is only possible because of us, ask them, where are you checking them when they are denigrating us? And they always get quiet when you do that. I've done spaces on that several times, and I have yet to get any of them to come on stage and give me an answer. Where is the energy for us when we have been attacked and disrespected by these anti-Black American Black immigrants, aka tethers? They never have an answer.
Man, I tell everybody this. Before you go there, Zilla, I'm going to say it like this. I tell everybody, since we've been updating the vernacular, we've been updating the game, we're just going to have to make a classification of anti-Black American. That's just really, we got to go there. Because when you look at people...
Yeah, I've been saying that. Anti-Black American.
Remember, we talked about that one time, brother, me and you. I think it was on my show, family. We spoke about that. It's a different breed. Anti-Black American has people who are Black speaking like they in the KKK against us. And it's just reality. This is the new wave. The way we got all new terminologies and phrases that we created and everything is fresh. That's something that we're going to have to, put on the forefront, because people talk about us. I'm talking about Black folk. They talk about us the same way that white folks talk about us, but it is lineage and it is nationality based. You feel me? Think about it. I've seen Black people from England. I've seen Black people from Haiti. I've seen Black folks from Jamaica. I've seen Black folks from the continent, and they don't even get along with each other. They all speak different languages. Hell, half of them have different religions. But the one common denominator that they all got is that they hate on Black Americans. So if you can deal with a Black person from North America, South America, you could deal with a Black person from Africa. You got Black folks who are all throughout Europe, and they all got the same spite, vitriol, and jealousy for foundational Black Americans. And we're going to have to update the game and come up with a new term that specifies. You got people who hate on Black people, And then you have people who hate on Black Americans, and 99% of the folks who hate on Black Americans are other Black people. Go ahead, Zilla.
And how true is that? I mean, and we have seen all of these people come in repeatedly. And then my biggest thing is these other so-called Pan-Africanists, when they see all of these, like he said, tethers come in here, start talking crazy and talking down on Black folks, they never, ever address. They act as if saying, hey, man, that ain't cool, is going too far talking about Africa. And somehow they have really got into that slave mentality to where if you can't be a slave to the white man, now it's be slaves to Africans. Just duck your head and just don't say nothing. You know, they come with the insult, but that's a different kind of culture. See, what we need to do, we need to be showing the upper hand and showing the better image. Man, miss me. These folks know good and damn well what respect is in coming in the energy of disrespect, to which they do often. And I'm really bothered by the so-called Black folks, Pan-Africanists, that, number one, ain't never had their ass over in Africa and ain't got nobody African around them. They only dealing with us, but instead of realizing the truth, they're so worried about going to other Black folks, foundational Black Americans, as a foundational Black American, to somehow avoid checking these this African disrespect when it comes down to foundational Black Americans. And we're standing as a vanguard, as men, to say, hey, we are defending our culture. We don't need people in our own house sitting up here talking against that. That's some sucker shit right there. So that's really what gets on my nerves, because as far as the tethers go, they don't have nothing coming from us anyway. Hold your own nuts. But it's these self-hating Negroes that, well, you know, we all come from Africa now, and what we need to do, we need to mend the fences for, just like the brother Marcel just said, this most neglectful mother that has never gave a damn about her children. All of a sudden, it's like, y'all have seen What Love Got to Do with It. That woman dropped Tina Turner right on off, right? Dropped old Anime off, but then when Anime's checks started rolling through and people was looking at her talent, all of it, don't forget who your people is now. That's what they pulling. That old shiesty, shady shit. And again, like I said, maybe this is one of the things that they have in common. Dirtbag behavior. So we got wannabe dirtbags, and then we have the authentic dirtbag culture, and it's just hand in hand, because some of these folks are, these Pan-Africanists, they are not entitled to reparations. So they've been secretly hiding out as a tether. So that's the ultimate tether, is the Pan-Africanists, because some of them ain't even eligible for reparations. So that's who I got my eye on, family. And that is why FBA is the standard of Blackness in the world. They want it to be Africa. We get everything from Africa. No, the hell we don't. They over there rapping, that came from here. So they stole our shit, not the other way around. Back to you, brother.
Let me say this too. And I don't like the name drop, but she's done it to me, so I'm gonna do it to her. Queen Ahmadiyya, and I brought this up before because she was tagging me in some stuff, acting all outraged. Oh my God, he done let Tariq Nasheed turn him against his own African brothers and sisters. First of all, where are these African brothers and sisters when our great-great-great-grandparents were having their Black Wall Streets and Black towns burnt down? Where are these African brothers and sisters where we were having our land stolen, Jim Crow and redlining? But even now, where is that energy from her when these African, quote-unquote, brothers and sisters are calling us a kata, saying we don't work hard? Over in Somalia, talk about some, we have a baby daddy culture, and most Black Americans don't know their fathers. Where's her outrage for that? So I went on her Twitter page, and I literally went and checked to see if she had checked any of, at the time, different comments that kind of went viral about disrespect towards Black Americans. And one of them was from Akon, and the other one, I forgot what the other one, the other one was that video of that Somalian who's starving. Like, shouldn't you be worried about trying to get something to eat? Like, you're starving. What you know about some Black American have baby daddy culture? She had not said one word about it. But we check the disrespect that is shown to us. Okay, we not started nothing with no one. They're in our damn country. When you come in my home, you are going to wipe your feet. You are going to show the utmost respect to my house, and you're going to be grateful every single day that I have let you in my house and given you shelter and given you food. You will not disrespect me in my home. Imagine, I know a lot of you have children. Imagine them, see the difference with a child. That child has a right to expect you to provide for them because that's your child. That's your responsibility. These damn tethers not our responsibility. Okay? The government from whom you fled, that's who's responsible for you. So if you got so much damn smoke and you got so much to say and you got so much gusto, take your behind back home and stand up against that government that is beating you, starving you, depriving you, and selling your nation out. A lot of them might say, well, America is robbing us of our resources. No, America is not. Your leaders are robbing you of your resources, and they're giving it to America. I'm not saying America is innocent, but what you're not going to do is act as if your corrupt leaders, whom you failed to stand up against, and you are the majority, are not sitting there prostituting you out, prostituting your resources out to America and the Europeans, and you sit there and allow it. But all of a sudden, you get in America where Black Americans have fought for you to have rights, fought for you to have the freedom of speech, where you know we will stand up if something goes down, as we always do. Hell, the reparations movement. This movement has accomplished more in centuries in just 3 years without any massive media press or massive money. They know we're going to fight, so they get over here, and all of a sudden, they got balls now. All of a sudden, they bold now. They can stand up to disenfranchisement now. They can say how they feel now. Where's that energy in your home? The number one thing I always bring out is abortion. In most of their nations, they know, in Nigeria and in countries like that, they don't play that abortion stuff, okay? But you come to our country, you advocate for our Black babies to be killed. But in your nation, you ain't said nothing. I said to them, if you want fucking abortion so bad, get your ass back in Nigeria and Haiti. You can advocate for abortion there. So don't talk to us about nothing. I am not showing no mercy, and I'm not checking I'm going to check the tethers, but y'all, the tethers ain't really the problem. The problem are those of us who defend the tethers. Just like these anti-Black American white supremacist bigots, of course they're our enemies, but they're not the ultimate problem. The ultimate problem are the coons who give a face, a Black face, and give the pretense that we're okay with this anti-Black American hate to which we do. And you made a great point, Black Alpha. Black Americans have to deal with, y'all know I never liked racism. Y'all know I don't even like saying white supremacy. Because I told you, I'm concerned about stopping anti-Black American hate. Okay, if there's going to be white supremacy, whatever. As long as it's not hurting Black Americans, fine with me. Let us get ours, and you can be as white supremacist as you want. You better just not hurt us. I'm not trying to protect these other groups. I am delineating all the way through. So when we go through something, I'm titling it Black American hate. And Black American hate doesn't just come from white people. It doesn't just come from Jewish people. Black American hate can also come from other Black people. And tethers are perfect examples of that. So I am going to be focusing on stopping Black American hate and making sure we are good and we are protected. Because for the longest, when we have used vague terms like we're fighting racism, that has just given these other groups the attitude that, oh, Black Americans are going to take care of all the problems. We just need to sit back and let them fight. Now you got these illegal immigrants over here using our civil rights movement, our civil rights strategies, trying to get amnesty, trying to make it seem like somehow they're breaking into a country illegally and demanding citizenship what they don't deserve. They're trying to make it seem like that is somehow commensurate with our fight or to get justice for American chattel slavery, Jim Crow, redlining, lynch mobs. I am not wearing the cape for none of these other groups. I'm worried about making sure Black Americans are safe from anti-Black American hate. If anybody wants to put on a cape for these other groups, we can't complain about tethers and then tell ourselves, oh, we want to stop white supremacy. No, I want to stop anti-Black American hate. You can stop white supremacy, and you can still have anti-Black American hate. That's what I've been trying to tell people. You can defeat white supremacy, and you will still have other Black people promoting anti-Black American hate. That's what we're dealing with right now. We have these Black immigrants over here. Our grandparents thought that these Black immigrants will be our friends, will ally with us. Okay, Nina Simone, a person who I absolutely adore. She was one of the biggest Pan-Africans there were, because she was of a generation where they didn't know they were going to come over here and be like this. And look, we now got to deal with anti-Black American hate from the white supremacists, but now we got to deal with anti-Black American hate from people who look like us. Ask yourself, y'all, who's more dangerous? A person that we know is our enemy, or a person is our enemy, but we don't know it yet because they look like us? I have to run, y'all. I got my students I have to tutor, but hey, I'll be back. This is a great conversation.
Hey, appreciate it, family. Hey, I say this all the time to everybody. When you start dealing with anti-Black American hatred, the dominant society, they don't mind having Black people pull up to this country. They just want the Black people that they can control. Now, mind you, if they can go over to the continent of Africa and control billions of them and whoop their ass where they have literally the population advantage, then you know damn well they feel that they can get over on them folks right here in the USA. I mean, if you're simple thinking from the, the dominant society standpoint, the dominant society is looking at it like this. We got these 50 million foundational Black Americans who have always fought back. But yet we got these billions of Africans who have never fought back. So it's only natural that they're going to try to bring these folks over here and try to put them folks in our position. That's where the eraser comes through. And remember, the number one recruit for the erasure of foundational Black Americans is going to typically be someone from the diaspora. That's why they come over here and they talk that nonsense. I give a shout out to anybody who's under 25, because typically people who are under 25, particularly someone who's 15 and down, they're going to grow up in a world where we understand that these people from the diaspora are not our friends. Typically, folks who are 25 and up, then you know you grew up in a world where the elders was teaching us that the diaspora had nothing but love for us. And a lot of us was sold this lie that these folks was going to come over here, they was going to be our friends, we need to fight for them, and like we was going to do something for them, and they was going to come over here and be reinforcements. Hell to the no, hell to the no. And it really wasn't until the last couple of years where we started to see the spite and the vitriol and just how deep it runs. It ain't no joke. Whatever you think the spite and vitriol runs for foundational Black Americans, from people from the diaspora, add about 100% more to it, because it is that deep. They have no love for us. And I'm tired of people saying, well, we got some good ones here, good ones here. We've been hearing that same thing about the dominant society for years. And I don't really base things off of there's some good ones here or there. We got to base this off the collection. And the collection of those folks have hatred for foundational Black Americans, and they ain't going nowhere. Because put it this way, if you got hatred for folks on the other side of your village, what you think you got for people on the other side of the ocean? It's going to be the same exact thing. What you feel about that, Zilla?
Well, I'm looking at one of the comments in the thread right now from Tether Chief. Tether Chief says, hate on Black Americans? Negro, please. Y'all creating all this drama for the check and delineation. You can do this without attacking other Black people. All these generalizations about other Black people is just wrong. Number one, they are not other Black people. We are the Black people and they are not. They are of their whatever they identify themselves as. Because we ain't going to start all of a sudden being new Black people now. We're not going to do that. And that's one thing, that's another issue that people are having. Because y'all don't identify as Black, and now that it's popular to do because there's a financial gain attached to it, all of a sudden you're talking about other Black people. You ain't identifying as Black. So that's the only time that, like when they was over there in Ukraine, oh, they became Black real quick. Oh, man, no, they just kicking off the niggas. Oh, hold on. I thought you was Nigerian, player. But as soon as they realize that, oh yeah, white supremacy is a global entity, yeah, they turn Black real quick. But see, we don't have to respect that. We absolutely do not have to respect that. And like Brother Marcel said, I don't know why anybody would be going so hard at other Black folks and then to absolutely neglect the disrespectful tether disrespect that comes our way so often, just like this Tether Chief right here. Now, you'll say that, Tether Chief, but see, this is a stage, so you could, most definitely come say that with your chest, because that would be the way that foundational Black Americans carry it, because we don't have colonized minds. So it's not throwing shade at you, but if you got somebody coming out their mouth talking about we don't know where we come from, that's disrespectful to us, and yes, we will check that. So, Negro, please, y'all just trying to get a check. We don't have what the hell does an African have to do with our check? except for get ready to start paying after we get ours from America. But other than that, maybe you need to shut your ass up and wash them ankles off. Back to you, my brother.
Hey, here's the kicker, though, family. We could sit here any day of the week and talk about all the diamonds, the oils, and the resources they got. We don't ever talk about that. As a matter of fact, whenever we do speak about it, we speak about it from the aspect of how come you don't control it. You know, the pocket watching is deep in this world. The pocket watching is deep. These folks be watching us. They got our microscopes, telescopes, binoculars. They got every single thing they can so they can look in on foundational Black Americans' money. And the reparations claim that we have made has changed everything. As soon as we start speaking about reparations, now everybody's got a problem. Now everybody wants to focus in on us. And I always speak right here on the Black Alpha Network about good tether and bad tether. Zilla, you heard me bring that up before, ain't you, brother?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm going to tell everybody what you got with the good tether and bad tether. You have the individual who wants to stop our reparations, and then you got the individual who wants to steal our reparations. You're going to have the one tether who realizes that he ain't never going to get his tether fingers on our money. So what he wants to do, he just wants to stop it. And he goes overboard. He's a radical. He's the one coming out here saying, nope, no money for you guys. I'll do whatever I can to stop y'all from getting the bag. And then you got the other one who wants to steal our reparations. So he's out here trying to sound endearing, and he's talking about, come home, brother. We all friends. Let's get it in. And sometimes you start to see a tug of war in a battle between these two. It's very similar to the dominant society when you got the liberal and the conservative, the Democrat and the Republican, the one who's overt with his racism, those who are covert with their racism. And every single community has these two entities, one who wants to be out in the open and the other wants to be camouflaged. And that's what we're starting to see with these tethers out here. You're going to have the ones who want to come and say we all friends, and then you're gonna have the other one who wants to say y'all all are our katas. That's what it is. And if you watch, because y'all know TikTok, man, there's so many goddamn TikTok tethers out here. Every goddamn week there's probably about 500 new videos of these TikTok tethers, and they going back and forth. And now they're starting to argue with each other about different tactics on how they can get in on our reparations or how they can stop our reparations. The tether is deep, y'all. This shit is deep. It is heavy out here in these streets, and we've been making it hard on these tethers. They say it's hard out here for a pimp. It ain't nowhere near as hard as it is out here for these tellers. And that's all because foundational Black Americans, we've been regulating, we've been G-checking, and we've been getting rid of that myth and that misnomer that we're all brothers and sisters and we're all friends. It all starts with us as a lineage. You look amongst your lineage first if you're talking about your brothers and sisters, and then everybody else can come second, third, fourth, fifth, or not at all. That's all to their choosing. But we have to watch out for the good tether and the bad tether. We got to watch out for the y'all akatas or the come home brothers, and we got to watch out for the ones who want to steal our money or the ones who want to stop our money, because the common denominator amongst both of them, and I don't give a damn what they say, the common denominator is that they both want to get in on what we have, because they both understand that foundational Black Americans with money is the biggest threat to the world. Not just right here, it's the biggest threat to the world. And that's why you're seeing such a big apparatus that consists of the dominant society and the whole diaspora trying to prevent us from getting these dollars. Before we go to the speaker, I'm going to go ahead and ask you to throw in your 2 cents on that, Zilla.
Well, you know, I think when you just looking at the title, man, and looking at the standard to which we have already set, you literally have people out here trying to use, I mean, like you said before, brother, they utilize our speech, they utilize our swag and to diss us, which is so crazy. It's like, okay, you're trying to use the foundation to which we lay, and then trying to say we don't have ownership of any kind of culture. That's absolutely false. We are the standard bearers of everything at this point. Because think about it, where in what area, what popular area do you not have Black foundational Black American cultural influence? I don't think we have that. But with that being said, we do have Matthew here. Looks like one of our Caucasian fellows. So go ahead and unmute yourself, Matthew. What you got, brother?
Yeah, what's going on? I just have a couple questions. I like listening to you guys. So I just didn't know what is a foundational Black American? Like, if you were to describe it.
Hey. Yeah, I'm going to describe it. First off, before I describe it, I want to know why you want to know.
So I could understand, so I could proceed, knowing, like, why do I introduce myself as Matthew? So you know my name, okay, so we can continue forward.
Well, I
I
mean,
just
well,
I
you
don't
know,
understand what
your name
FBA is.
is as an individual. You know what I'm saying? That's a little different than a lineage. So I don't really like that
There's an
comparison.
example. So it's a lineage.
It's a bad example. It was a bad example. I mean, hell, when I go to, Taco
But
Bell, I
did
don't
you
say, I
understand what
want
I
to know
was talking
FBA the
about?
same way I want to know what a burrito is.
You understood what I meant?
Nah, slightly. But it didn't really answer my question. Why do you want to know into detail? Give me some detail to that, just so you know
I've
the
never
name. I
heard
mean,
Foundational
we just said
Black
Foundational Black American.
I just never.
Okay, well, there you go then. It's Foundational Black American. That's FBA. So doesn't us saying that describe what FBA stands for? The F is for foundational, the B is for black, and the A is for American. Doesn't that really describe it to you? So that's why I asked you, why do you want to know in detail?
I mean, I don't really know.
Well, then you need to get a dictionary. Then you need to get a dictionary and then read what foundational means, read what black means, and read what American means. And it'll answer you better than I ever could,
So you
sir.
just told me that it's the literal definition. I'm not against you or nothing. I'm just literally just trying to figure out what does it mean.
Well, I'm not saying that you are against it. I just want to know. I just want to know the detail. Once again, the detail on why you want to know. I just gave you the actual words that
have no
describe
motive,
acronym.
bro.
Okay, I got you. Now, give me the detail on why you want to know. Like, you want to know why, so you can address us, so you can address your friends, you can address society, so you're just aware in life. Like,
Yeah.
give me details.
I mean,
it's not that difficult of a question,
things, right? And shit. Like I come in here, I don't know everything, so I like to learn.
Okay, well, all right. Now, if you notice, by me telling you that, I answered your question. Foundational Black American. That means foundational Black and American. Same way the USA means United States of America. Foundational Black American means foundational Black and American. So it answered that. Now, go ahead, proceed with your second question, since we answered that one for you.
Yeah. So the second question was, like, who? So you guys want reparations, but like, how is this gonna work? Like, I'm all for it, but like, how is it gonna work?
The same way reparations has worked for any other person who's received reparations. You're aware that other groups have received reparations, correct?
Yeah. However, I found that Japanese got theirs because they had a state. So they were able to.
Because the Japanese have a state. There's no state called Japan in America.
Well, I know, but they were able to allocate the money in a place and then distribute it likewise. So.
Okay, that can happen to us.
Absolutely.
There's an answer. Yeah, there you go. Then you answer your own question. Okay. You're doing good today, man. I'm gonna have to send you a goddamn bottle of champagne, homie.
Oh yeah, I only take the best. All right,
then you got to take the best teachers, man, and you're listening to them. So yes, you already answered it.
I'm listening. I'm not coming in here to stir up some shit. I'm not trying.
I got you. You said that 39 times. I got you. We don't need a 40th time. Okay, so the Japanese got their reparations. Native Americans have got their reparations. Are you aware of both of those?
Yeah.
Then why don't you apply the same logic to us?
Well, because
why are you coming at us with a different manuscript?
Everything can't be the same.
We're different.
It can't be the same.
It's not about. Yes, we are very different. We're very different in terms of genetics, lineage, heritage, and culture. But the laws are not different. The laws have been allocated the same way in every which way. When someone gets caught of robbery, they don't say, "Well, you're different, so I'm gonna give you a different sentence or a different indictment." Yeah. No, it's the laws. The laws are the laws. The laws are on the book. Everybody is subjected to the laws. This is the United States of America, correct?
I guess I'm just not familiar with those laws.
Wait a minute. This is United States of America, correct?
This is the United States.
Okay, then why are you trying to apply a different law for us?
No, I'm not trying to apply a different law.
You view us? I got to ask you, do you view us differently? You said, wait a minute, you said we're different.
No,
do you view us different?
There's a difference between the United States and the United States of America.
No. Just a minute ago, you said y'all are different.
I didn't say y'all.
And I want to know what you mean by that. Yes, you did.
I said every situation.
Okay. No, you didn't. You said, no, you didn't. You said, but y'all are different. You said, but y'all different. It's recording. You can listen to the playback. We got 100 plus people in this room.
I'm not trying to argue. I'm just saying.
Hey, brother, I told you I don't need the 40 if we're not trying to argue. I got that. No one's arguing. I'm teaching. So listen, what I'm telling you is you did say, but y'all are different. And I'm asking you, I'm asking you questions as well. See, I'm not under indictment. I'm not under your jurisdiction. So I'm asking you a question. And my question is to you. You said we are different. So you're trying to apply different laws to us that did not pertain to the Native Americans or the Japanese. And I'm asking you, why are you taking the laws of the United States of America judicial system and applying different ones to us opposed to the other groups? That's what I'm asking you. That's a simple question, Matthew.
Japanese, I guess it probably went about a different way. I mean, that's just, I'm not.
Whoa. Now, Matthew, what you're doing is inventing a scenario that does not exist. Let's keep it simple.
Okay.
What the brother asked you is about the law. Uh-huh. The law hasn't changed, and there is no difference in scenario. If they could figure out reparations for other groups, what is the difference to you here?
I was just not aware of those laws, too. I said that. I said I'm not aware of the reparation law.
No. But no, we already established the fact that reparations has already happened in America, have we not?
Yeah, it has.
Oh, okay. Well, then it can happen again. That's the simple. That's a very simple understanding. Why are you complicating?
I'm not trying to complicate things. I'm just trying to get a better understanding.
What's the understand? You already understand reparations exist.
Because if they got theirs, why the fuck haven't you guys got yours?
Because of people like you coming up here with senseless questions, asking baseless informational questions. Because here's the one thing that we already
so what are you going to get reparations for?
Reparations. Don't talk over me. Don't talk.
What are you going to get reparations for?
Be quiet, Matthew. So what I'm saying is, when we are now you're coming with the argument shit, and that what we're doing is we had just allowed you to be yourself, because what you did was came up here and said 49 times, I'm not trying to argue, I'm not trying to argue, I'm not trying to argue, and as soon as I cornered you,
you're not cornering nobody, bro. It's a conversation.
That speaking point. Shut up, Matthew. Be quiet. Black men are talking here. Now understand what we are doing. We're getting reparations because we're owed it, and we don't owe you any explanation for what we are owed. Simple. But we indulged you enough to answer your question. Now shut your mouth.
Well, I mean, I would like to...
No, you be quiet, Matthew. You've said enough.
You don't want to hear me talk?
Thank you.
Just like
Thank
to
you,
shut
Matthew.
me up?
Be
I mean,
quiet,
I have something
Matthew.
else to
Thank
say.
you.
I mean, I'll be respectful.
Be quiet, Matthew.
All right, listen. Hey, here's the thing, Matthew. You say you're not trying to argue, but you are babbling.
I'm not.
You are babbling.
I don't babble.
Yeah, you are. And I challenge you to get through the rest of this conversation without saying what you're not trying to do. Because, by the way, that's tactic of, I'm not really trying to do what I just didn't do on Wednesday at 12 on Thursday. That shit don't work over here. You're going to have to be more precise, man. We done seen it all. Listen to me. Listen. You know what reparations is. You know how reparations are applied. You know who has received reparations. Then you take that same type of stuff and you apply it to us, and then there's your answer. And you know this, but you're being disingenuous. You've had a lot of questions and you've got a lot of answers, but if you were quiet and you listen to the answers, they might actually seep into your brain, okay? It takes time. I can tell with you it takes more time than others, but that's okay. Right. So that's all right. Paying the reparations? I'm sure you got a lot of time, and I got a lot of teaching to do. So listen, all you have to do is take the reparations claim that reparations has always been applied, and you apply it to foundational Black Americans. But we both know, you and I, we both know that you know that. So really what I want you to do, I want you to come out right now and just say that you are anti-Black and you're trying to run interference on our reparations. Can you just say that for everybody? Black son. Half Black. All right, that don't mean nothing. So did the slave master. Nice try. Boy, I told you we know all the games, man. Come on now. Come on. Is it white? Is the woman a swirler?
A swirler.
Do y'all do slave roles?
His woman's a tubber.
Yeah. They do slave. Y'all do slave roles and stuff?
She's actually very beautiful.
Yeah, she probably is. She probably also comes with a blow-up pump because she doesn't exist.
Females, I don't get it.
Yeah, well, here's what I do get. Is that woman that you're talking about?
So you implying that Black slave women?
I didn't say anything about slave.
American women were not beautiful. Oh, you said.
Hey, Miriam.
You implied it.
Miriam, he knows he's talking about blow-up doll.
Black women slaves.
No, his baby mama's African.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna tell you what she's a blow-up doll. She's a blow-up doll that he got from the Home Depot. That's what it really is.
That's where you get your blow-up dolls?
We know that. That's what you got, homie. Yeah. Your mama probably won too. Yeah, I know you do.
Hey,
yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. Don't lie.
Reparations. I think this is all just peddling to get you guys to vote Democrat.
I think that you are an anti-Black supremacist who's running old 1980s anti-Black supremacist tactics that in the year 2023 are being completely broken apart and torn up in this space right here. And I think, honestly, you're starting to get frustrated, Matthew. You're getting mad, Matthew. You're getting upset. You thought that stuff was going to work. That won't work over here. You're dealing with a new breed. Hey, everybody, he thought he was talking to an African-American. That's who he thought he was talking to. He thought he was talking to the African-American blow-up doll that he got.
He said Democrats.
We talk back, family. So no, I think you're getting upset, Matthew, that your old tactics aren't working, man. You're going to have to go get some new ones. You're going to have to polish them up. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of spaces on Twitter, man. You can probably go slide in one of them other ones.
You don't know.
I do know you because once you've seen one supremacist, you done seen them all, brother. So you are an anti-Black supremacist who is trying to run fake reparation interference that is not working. You're getting upset. You probably throw your Toby Keith CD tonight at your mama because I made you upset. And those mashed potatoes and them unseasoned goddamn Brussels sprouts probably have you real mad tonight. But that's okay. That's what you do. And what we do is we stay excellent and we get to the money.
Yeah,
and then
I'm not against it. I'm not against getting to the money.
I know you are. I know you are. I know you are. I know you're against it. It does make sense because I said so. And I'm FBA and I say so. And what I say goes. And what I say is that you are an anti-black supremacist running old, outdated game that you need to update. You need to go to the supremacist goddamn website and download the new app. You'll get all the new tactics. And then the old tactics ain't working. And the new ones ain't going to work either.
Foundational.
I didn't even hear what you said. I didn't hear what you said because I'm not listening. But you're listening to me because I'm the host and I'm an FBA and I'm the man. So what you need to do is step your game up because it's old, brother. It's old and it don't work. Any new ones ain't gonna work. So really, you just ain't really got nowhere to go now, do you? This is the new wave of America.
You gotta.
I'm just winning. Is what I'm doing.
You gotta figure out.
I'm just winning. Is what I'm doing. I'm just winning. What I'm doing. And you're over there with that damn fitted hat on, trying to tilt it to the side like you would. If that's really even you, because you're probably about 350 pounds with no teeth. Okay, so that's all Gucci. We all understand that. But you're running interference and it's not working. So what I need you to do, here's what I need you to do. I understand it. Yeah, you got one of them too. Yeah, you do. Your whole goddamn family probably does. With a meth pipe to go along with it. But that's your problem, not ours. What you need to do is take what I'm telling you and my brothers and sisters are telling you and then go tell it to everybody that you know and let them know that them type of games and them type of tactics don't work on us because we are exceptional and we pivot around all of that. And whatever else you do with you, your meth pipe, your unseasoned food, your Brussels sprouts, and your Toby Keith CD, y'all can handle that on your own time. But in our time, we are foundational Black Americans. We are excellent. And supremacists like you do not exist. Thank you very much. I will see you out of here because it's only fun for about 5 minutes to roast them. And then it's not fun anymore. So we will keep it moving. I see. Hold on. We get to you, Zilla. Then we're going to pass it around. But that's how you roast them. They don't say shit. We talk over them. And then we send them on their goddamn way. So he's got about 2 seconds before he's probably goddamn trying to fight his mama or some shit like that. But that's what happens when you do FBA all motherfucking day.
Facts.
Hey, man, y'all go ahead and cook. Zilla, Miriam's on y'all.
Yeah, his thing is this. And that's why I was like, yeah, let's just let him roll. Because at the end of the day, he's going to get to it. Because he came with well, I don't understand, but stop. First, he asked the dead giveaway bullshit question. What's FBA? I don't understand. And then he's trying to overcomplicate it. That's why I wanted to say, why are you overcomplicating it? And that's when he lost it. You see, because he was gonna go back and forth for a while. He was able to keep it together, but as soon as I asked him about complicating it, now well, it's just stupid. Oh, there it is. There it is. And see, tethers be hanging around people like that. Because if you remember a few weeks ago, we had a tether come in say that exact same thing. Did we not? You remember that, brother?
Oh, brother, I remember it very, very, very clear. Hey, and you notice that blow up dog goddamn line, that pissed him. Hey, that sounded like that shit hit a nerve, didn't it? Hey, what's that movie they got out? What's that, Megan? That motherfucker got him a goddamn Megan dog. That motherfucker mad as hell, boy. That motherfucker was shook. He was like, damn, how they find out about that shit? God damn it. Hey, that's why I could bring it up. He kept bringing it up. Right. Hey, his supremacist gonna holler.
Man, and that's what we wanted to expose right there, family, because I know some of y'all don't get a chance to really deal with these types. And he pulled out every fork out the drawer. He pulled out, well, I have a black son. My woman's black. My fiance's a beautiful black woman, but you don't feel that we should get reparations. So I'm assuming that if you have a swirler and she's dating the likes of you, well, then she's pretty much for the streets anyway. So yeah, there's that, fella. So,
Hey, Zilla, and that's if she even exists.
Oh, we already know she don't. But I mean, stop it. No, what he is gonna do is try to get one of them Ukrainians coming over. He gonna try to scoop one of these refugee Ukrainians and see if he can't wipe one of them up. Sister Miriam, you got it.
He the passport supremacist. He the passport supremacist bros.
You don't have to worry about a Ukrainian male bride. They already shipped here. Woo, y'all are roasting, I swear. They always come in up here trying to crab walk to the side, to the right, to the left, and trying to go up the middle. As soon as you go up the middle, there go that mallet. Boom! You know, the hedgehog game. It's like hitting one of those. Nope, you tried that last week. Your father tried that last year. Your mammy just tried it 5 seconds ago. Go back somewhere with that bull crap. They really do be trying it. You get no reprieves over here. None. G-checking. Look it up. Oh, my goodness. That was just really funny. I was out and about. I was handling business at the city hall. I registered as to speak at the city hall, of course, under Black grassroots activists for reparations and environmental concerns and needs. Making my way, hitting it up so that I could hit the state of Illinois, so that I could become one of the main point people and break it down to terminologies and what we want in Illinois. To sit on that reparations board. I know we supposed to be roasted burner board, but I just had to get a few things off my chest. And Brother Afro Elite, I'm waiting till he connects so he can hear me. So I'm definitely making steps to be about our city, mind your city, meaning make sure you are putting forth the efforts to do what you need to do in your city, making sure you're getting these written statements in bullet point by bullet point into the OMB. We have to show up, show out, and represent. And we say everything with our damn chest. And so you better believe your ass gonna get wrecked and checked, G-checked over here. Brother Afro Elite, if you you and I to network on closing in the ranks for the state of Illinois, brother. So could you please do that, if you will? I certainly appreciate it. And I'll yield my time. Anybody else want to come up and speak? Speak your mind.
I don't know if Afro can connect, because I know I had to use a whole different device to even get on stage. So it looks like, Twitter's doing its thing today.
Hey, I heard at the Galaxy Store. That's what I heard through the grapevine. I heard people say that if you download from the Galaxy Store, then it'll actually work. So That's what I heard.
That's crazy. That is crazy. I see. What's his brother's name? Solon D, and then John Horse. Go ahead, Solon D. You can unmute yourself.
Hey, peace to the room, peace to the movement. How you guys doing? I posted in the Jumbotron of why FBA is the standard of blackness. Thanks to our good sister Wani Spot, she made this cultural Olympics entry form of all the accomplishments we are still doing till this day, from modern inventions to academic competitions to athletes, entertainment, Grammys, Oscars, Tonys, military honors, politicians, art, music genres, hairstyles, influence on language, heroes, humanitarian aid, etc., etc. And then
excuse me for one moment, brother. May I say something? Afro Elite, I just was able to bring 2 people up to the stage. So if you will request to speak from me, and maybe I can pull you up. All right. Thank you, brother.
I forgot what I was going to say, but I'll end off like this. So I'm going to say we're not part of the African diaspora or the Caribbean diaspora, as you will. I know y'all probably already said that already, but diaspora means the dispersion or spread of people from their original homeland. We're not originally from Africa, we're originally from America. So thank you very much for letting me speak.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Brother John Horse, you can go ahead, brother.
Yo, yeah, what's good, everybody? I just wanted to just come up here and just continue to say, for everybody, man, just keep pressing for reparations, no matter what, by any means necessary, just keep pressing for it. The thing is, the white supremacists are going to start becoming far more hostile now. You know what I'm saying? This is their Achilles heel. This is the reason why they enslaved us and did everything that they did to us, is specifically based on economics. You know what I'm saying? This is an economic war. But the thing is about the situation that we're in, we're fighting a real holy war. You know what I'm saying? We're fighting for justice. This is what we got to fight for. You know what I'm saying? So just understand, you know what I'm saying? Everybody needs to, just galvanize their power and just understand that they're going to become far more hostile. We haven't seen anything yet, but we haven't, you know what I'm saying? They haven't done anything. We've been through everything like a lab rat dealing with these people. So, you know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? They're going to start coming out, which is what it is that we need. We need them to come all the way out because we don't need black people being asleep. We need them all the way out in the open. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if everybody watched Jason Black's latest broadcast, but they're trying to take the school districts over there in Houston, Texas, because most of the tech companies are actually trying to go over there to Houston, Texas. And as you know, Houston, Texas is like a majority black city. So Houston, Texas, like the kids over there, they really doing good. They winning. And they're expecting Houston, Texas to be like the next Atlanta. So, you know what I'm saying? We need to go ahead and just, prep ourselves and just keep an eye on Houston, Texas when it comes to black economics. And another thing is too, man, never take your eyes off the white supremacists no matter what. Understand these other immigrants and stuff like that, they're anti-black because white supremacy puts the battery in their back to allow them to be so. So understand that, if you go after the white supremacists, the immigrants, all of those, the anti-blackness goes away. And I'll just land there for now.
Big facts. And John Horst, what you just said about brother Jason Black's broadcast too, that thing in Houston, let that be a lesson to why Matthew just came up here, because they look at what white supremacists are doing. They are seeing the future. They're forecasting the future of Houston and saying, man, these Negroes gonna have all this control over here. Yeah, I mean, man, we gotta get over there and get our hands on things and start running things. Not only that though, they want to make sure they get control of the schools.
Yeah.
They don't want black folks starting to be taught by black folks all of this independent black stuff. Oh man, they are afraid, family, because again, just like, man, Jason Black said it very, very clear, and I'm glad he said it, because these folks are worried when black folks do not have to look to white folks and say, hey, man, we need a white folk. We need some white folks around to help us do this.
Yeah, I know for a fact. I know for a fact. I know 2 black multimillionaires that live out there that they never did anything dealing with sports or anything or music or anything like that, bro. And they getting motherfucking money out there. So I'm talking about, they rolling, and they from here. They FBA. So, you know what I'm saying? So, I've seen them, and they spreading their businesses out, you know what I'm saying, to other black cities too. So understand that is the next, from what Jason Black was saying last night, keep an eye on Houston, just keep an eye on Houston and just, we just need to go ahead and just start galvanizing our power and just, because the white supremacists, that's what they're doing. They on the march. We just got to stay focused, understand that it's all about economics. You get that, we get our economics straight, everything else falls into place. Economics.
Man, let's get this reparations. Brother Alpha, are you there?
Yeah. Hey, I want to add to what y'all brothers just said, because y'all make a damn good point, where it's all based upon economics. Imagine this, family. We already deal with anti-black American racism, and we deal with supremacy, and we deal with that as the permanent underclass. Imagine what type of anti-black American racism we would deal with when we're not the permanent underclass. Basically, they're going to hate us because we foundational black Americans, and they're going to really hate us if we foundational black Americans with money. I want y'all to add $1 trillion+ reparations claim to the anti-black racism that they already inflict on us. Going back to what my brother John Horst just said about the hostility is going to be ramped up. The desperation is going to get ramped up. And we all know in the system of supremacy, desperation and hostility go hand in hand. Whenever they get desperate, they get even more hostile. And we're all living it right here, right now. The more we get on code, the more off code these tethers become, and the more on code we become, the more anti-black the world gets. So when we start adding trillions of dollars to our, finances, to our economics, to our bank, then you're going to start seeing a hell of a different type of game. And as our brother said as well, the school system. I had the opportunity this last weekend in Atlanta, Georgia, A-Town. I had the opportunity to, meet up with my brother Kabahai Watha Kamene again, for the second time. And I also interviewed him on the Black Alpha Network. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe. But I got an opportunity to meet my brother again and speak to him. And he's a teacher. He's a real teacher, not just a teacher who lectures folks. He's an actual real teacher from the school system. And he actually wrote a book. All his books, the Shabaka Stone, Spirituality Before Religion, all of his books, he wrote a children's book that encompasses all of that. And this is what you're starting to see. Brothers and sisters are really starting to homeschool their kids. So the attack on the school system is something that they really trying, because Black folks now, we're not in that era no more. We're like, man, they teach us all the supremacy in school. And Black folks now is like, well, fuck it then. We're going to take our kids out to school. And we're going to be our own goddamn teachers. See, we done changed the whole game. We said, oh, y'all not going to give us a politician? We're going to get our own politicians. Y'all ain't going to give us no policy. We're going to create our own policy. Y'all going to teach us white supremacy, and our history started with slavery, and Martin Luther King had a dream, and all the white supremacists retired and went away. Fuck that. We're going to become our own teachers, and we're going to create our own school system. So you're starting to see this attack on the school system unlike ever before, because it's always been the preschool to prison pipeline. But now they're amplifying that because we are going into our own sectors, and we're teaching our children. So imagine 10 years from now, 15 years from now, 20 years from now, where you have a plethora of young Black kids who are not taught by Karen at the public elementary school. Instead, she was taught by her mother, a certified Black American woman, taught by her father, a certified Black American man. That is something that the dominant society sees happening, because trust and believe, they're watching them numbers. They're starting to see us decrease in the school system, and they're afraid. And they're also afraid at the same time, while that's occurring, our reparations claim is going. Brothers and sisters are getting their self-defense game up. We're rejecting all the tethers, all the blenders, all the fleedmen. We're rejecting all of them. So family, basically what I'm trying to tell you is we whooping their ass in every single corridor. And they know this. And if we know it, goddamn well they know it. So this is why we are the standard of Blackness in the world. And this is why the desperation is going to rise. But as I always say, if they mad at foundational Black Americans here, they're going to be some mad motherfuckers then. Let's keep this thing moving.
If I may, brothers, I need to veggie back right on what Brother John Horst said about the fact that they are putting all the tech centers, and they are actually doing it in Black communities. I don't know if this is the art of war with them moving it in there so that they know that they can have their palm-colored supremacy counterparts to infringe and move Blacks out of their area, or because it's already affluent in moving Black communities that will give them a leg up on the cutting edge and having more economic support to support that community. So we have to look at that both ways. Anytime, white supremacists decide to do anything concerning our communities. So it could be a Trojan horse. We already know it's a Trojan horse on one hand. And then on the others, brothers and sisters, I always deprogram my children when they came home from school. That is our number one job, okay? We have to make sure we deprogram our children who are in these schools and make sure you are giving them what you want them to learn on the side. Because if you're not going to do what it's our birthright, which especially as a mother, we are our children's first teachers and along with their fathers, but we are their first teachers. And I know some people be like, it's too hard, it's too that. You cannot be lazy. That's what sacrifice, greatness and brilliance calls sacrifice. To get ahead and to move that goal post forward and to reach our goals, it requires sacrifice. So that's why I'm stating that. But there's nothing we can't do. There's nothing we could never do, because everything that we do is imitated. And we know that for a fact. So I know Brother Afro Elite was trying to get up here for quite some time. Where did he go?
I think he dropped down. But
okay.
I got one thing that I just want to say, and I'll let Blue and T go.
Yeah, about Blue's next after you.
Yeah, about the kids, man. Like, you got to understand, man. Like, our children are extremely intelligent, so they challenge. In these schools and stuff like that, they challenge a lot of these teachers when they start talking about history and stuff like that. So a lot of that has been going on. Also, too, man, remember, it really didn't really kick into overdrive until 2020 happened. They already wasn't really teaching you know, the kids about slavery and everything like that. And I have this saying that if you don't learn it in a history book about who we are, you'll learn it in the streets when we have uprisings. And that's what actually happened, you know, in 2020. The kids were seeing everything that was going on TV, on Instagram, on Snapchat, on TikTok. And then, you know, they was coming to school and they was like, you know, like children usually do. They start asking questions. Yo, why y'all, you know, why black folks outside doing all of this? And, you know, they would ask, you know, the other black kids about what was going on. And then when they would go home, they would start challenging their parents. And then that's when, you know, the parents probably started pulling up and was like, hey, y'all need to start taking this out of school and all of this, that, and the third. And you know what I'm saying? So that's what's been going on. The babies are starting to, you know what I'm saying, starting to challenge the system. They starting to question the system. Why is this happening with black people? Why did y'all treat black people like this? Little kids, little baby children, teenagers, whatever you want to call them, are starting to ask these questions and starting to push back and challenge the system.
Believe me, they were starting to ask. And this is when you had all these white Karens, Beckys, and Mildreds got together and started bombarding the school, talking about critical race theory. And then one of the women from feminism and who was under the ABC Mafia, rewrote some stuff and crowbarred and pushed it in so it could be ushered under Black history. And then, so of course, DeSantis and other people simply start using that as a way to attack not only our black culture, but our Black history, the essence of our Black history, because not that much of our history was in their books anyway. That's why I say we have to definitely give our children their own teachings as far as who are the inventors, who are our Black architects, doctors, astronauts, heck, their own ancestors and their own bloodline and lineage. So, yeah, these children were beginning to question their parents, and they were beginning to have remorse, some type of humanity, and some type of, you know, empathy. And boy, the white supremacists seen that like, oh, hell no, you're making my child feel bad. On that, in that stage, on that, you know, in that room, could testify to, I don't, why should I have to feel bad? This is not a personal attack. I mean, I had to correct G-check Becky's left and right up in there, you know? So it becomes where they implement this. And this is actually dealing with law. Critical race theory is a theory implemented in law and law classes in law. And it is not something that is taught in schools, but this is what they did. And then they, because the ABC Mafia also attached their damn agendas, this helper, I think Jason Black did a program on there, as well as Professor Black Truth, who really broke it down on how she infiltrated it and plowed it with critical race theory way back when DeSantis was just beginning to push with his rubbish. So yeah, I yield my time. And if Brother John Horst, if you're done, I would love to give the mic to our sister Blueberry Muffin.
Hi, good afternoon, good evening. Thank you, Black Alpha. Thank you, Miriam. Thank you to Hey Beatzilla, Hey John Horst, Queen Alpha, and everybody in the room. John Horst, you were on point, especially with the school districts, especially with the gentrification. We know every political movement starts in the school district, in the school systems, period, in a discussion. When they started off with this critical race theory nonsense, hullabaloo, what is that, about 3 years ago? And everybody started connecting the dots. That's when you start getting book banning. And then now states like Florida, South Carolina, and about 3 other states have pending legislation to stop teaching Black history. This is Jim Crow 3.0, folks. This ain't anything new. This is what our parents, our grandparents, and our great-grandparents went through, okay? Like John Horst and Miriam said, our kids are brilliant. They're connecting the dots, and they're connecting with their non-Black classmates who are asking their non-black parents embarrassing truths. And they're pushing back hard, okay? I had a daughter that came through the public school system. I didn't like what the public schools were teaching my kids, my daughter. So I pulled her out because they weren't teaching the truth. They were teaching convenient lies. So I homeschooled her for about 4 years and then sent her to a school that I knew the teachers, I knew the curriculum, and I went in there and I had to do, I was that black parent who would go to jail if you put your hand on my kid, okay? I was that black parent, all right? Her father came over there to make sure that she was getting her studies because I had a daughter. You had to lean on her a little bit, but that's okay because when she graduated high school, she was able to go to university, graduated university. She's now a registered nurse. So what I learned kicking ass was dealing with these parents over here. Okay, I live in a gentrified area of a city that's a tech city. I'm in tech. Okay, what they've done is once they've gentrified the black areas, that's when they start bringing the redevelopment administration in. That's when they start bringing in all of the economic development. Instead of black folks, you know what they're doing? Giving that money to? Yeah, them Ukrainians. Yeah. I posted some stuff up in the Jumbotron about why we need to get our act together politically, okay? You got 2 House bills. Well, 1 national House bill, 1 in my state legislature. I'm still going on that one. And they are giving incentives to non-U.S., non-naturalized U.S. citizens. Give them money for job training for these tech jobs. That's right. Our tax dollars are being broken off at the local and county and state levels to non-U.S. citizens so they can get the workforce development training, so they can get the, the subsidized grants at the 2- and 4-year and job training centers. That's what's going on where I am right now. And believe you me, I wouldn't be surprised if it's going on in Houston. Houston family, check that out. In your city, in your county, and in your state. Because, yeah, the white supremacists and their tether adjacents, or as I call them, non-black or non-white adjacents, they have been all over this and elbowed us out. So while they got us distracted with this nonsense about reparations, look at where our reparations money is going, folks. They're breaking it off in these redevelopment programs, and they've got these groups over here vying for our money. They're using the nonprofit angle and other community services angle. That's right. That's how they're doing it. And they setting this stuff up as we speak and watching the next 3 to 5 years. Who's going to be over there in the microchip assembly plant with the jobs that pay $25, $30 an hour? Who's going to be in the tech programs, union shop programs, getting the pipeline and getting the leg up? Yeah, folks, shitjustgotreal.com. I'll yield my time.
Ooh-wee. And blueberry muffins, I can attest to what that is. I mean, because you're up the way from me. So just seeing how that area has been gentrified, especially like on the South MLK side, I was blown away when I drove through there last time. I'm like, all of this shit is new. And ain't no black folks over there nowhere. I mean, it's you basically built a whole doggone city while moving black folks from South Seattle and scattering. I mean, they basically did North and Northeast Portland the same way. And what are they trying to do? I'm in Southeast Portland, and I'm down the street from an enclave of like Somalian. It's a whole complex of a Somalian apartment complex. And I mean, in the meantime, we have this super duper homeless crisis going on in our city. From here to Seattle, you can see nothing but tents and tents and tents and tents and tents. Now, at the same time, they're bringing flood. We got 6,000 Ukrainians in Portland, family. 6,000. Because as soon as we start pushing the issue for reparations, just like Blueberry Muffins just said, they are finding ways to try to deplete this money and give it to these foreigners. So we have to tighten up our ship. And again, you know, sometimes that takes the chastisement within the house. And again, anybody sympathizing with folks trying to dirtbag us like that, it needs to be just simply considered an enemy at this point, because you're not helping us get anywhere while always trying to worry about some other group. They are worried about themselves, and they do not give two shits about foundational Black Americans. So from the Africans that are up in Seattle to the Africans that are down here, ain't none of them getting any. When they get their money, they are not looking for foundational Black Americans one bit to share none of that money. And you can go to whatever that mall is on the way to Seattle. Go into that mall, you think you in another country. Every last one of them stores is some foreign shit. I mean, the writing on the store, you would think you in Turkey or Africa somewhere. The writing on the stores is not even in English, man. And this is a huge mall. I'm talking about, like, it's 2 malls put together. That's how big it is. And that is Tetherville, USA. I mean, good grief. So, yeah, she ain't lying. I mean, and it's really worse than that, to be quite honest. So we have to tighten up the car, man, because we need these reparations, and there is no ifs, ands, buts about it. We have to keep the pedal to the metal. Did you want to chime in that, Alpha, before we get to Brother T?
Yeah, what we got to deal with, family, everybody, we got to look at immigration is anti-Black racism, and you cannot separate the two of them. I know I see some, you know, every now and then people be running around here saying that they support immigration and reparations. Tell me how the hell you can do that. You can't, because they want to give you reparations money to the immigrants. Immigration is anti-Black American, because when these people come over here, there is a law amongst them in the dominant society that they are here to take tangibles away from us. They are here to replace us. Bottom line, point blank, we're not going to play no Disneyland shit. That's exactly what it is, because we have identified it. You don't just see all this by accident. What up, Paul Mooney say? Rest in peace, Paul Mooney. He said, you think all this shit got like this on accident? You think this is just a big ass coincidence? Everything that the brothers and sisters say in these spaces, salute to our brother Tariq Nasheed. He always breaks it down. As a matter of fact, our brother Tariq said it the other night. When Burna Boy came out and said that shit, Tariq made a good point. Tariq said, they try to make it look like we're some type of lost immigrant group. That's really what they try to do to us. Like, we just don't know who we are. We just some motherfuckers with no culture. We just running around here lost in the goddamn wilderness. Hell to the no. But they have to say that because we know exactly who we are. So they got to tell the contrast to that. And we understand that anytime somebody comes to this country, they have to speak to us like we don't know where we are. We don't know where we're going, because they know that's bullshit. And they know they bullshit don't float when they come around certified foundational Black Americans. So we have to watch this whole example. I know right now everybody's keeping an eye on the whole little Donald Trump thing, and that little shit is going on back and forth. But I'm going to take it a little step deeper with the whole Donald Trump thing. I'm going to tie this in, and then we're going to break it down. I'm going to take it out in the ocean. I'm going to bring it back to shore. See, one of the issues that's going on right now with the whole Donald Trump situation, I'm going to tell you how that affects foundational Black Americans. You got one president, Joe Biden, and he said he want to bring in 11 million illegals right now. Bring the motherfuckers in. He said, you ain't got to be documented. Just come on in. Just flee. Anybody seen at the border of El Paso about a week ago, they were just trying to hop over the damn bridge right in front of the authorities. They bold, boy. You know, he bold as hell, because they got that welcome and they got that red carpet. Well, then you have Donald Trump. He said just 2 weeks ago, he said he going to have on day 1, not day 2. Day 1, he said he gonna have the biggest mass deportation in American history. Now, if you're in the dominant society and you got one person who says, I want to bring in 11 million illegals to replace these certified foundational Black Americans, and then you got the other guy who's saying, I want to get rid of those 11 million people who you're trying to replace certified foundational Black Americans with. Now you got W on W crime. You got palm color on palm color crime. you got folks going back and forth now. One motherfucker wants to replace us, and he got his 11 million recruits, and the other saying, hell to the nah, y'all can't come in this country. So imagine a country with 11 million illegals, Joe Biden's America, and then imagine a country with the greatest mass deportation ever, Donald Trump's America. Foundational Black Americans, I don't have to tell you which one we benefit from. We benefit more from the Donald Trump policy. So if you look at it now, they saying, fuck that. That motherfucker will get arrested and thrown in jail before he gets in here and he ruins our 11 million illegals plan. Trust and believe everything that you see go on has something to do with foundational Black Americans. We are front and center in every single policy and legislation in this country. Even if they don't say us by name, even if they don't mention us, even if they mention 34, 5 other motherfuckers before us, trust and believe it has something to do with certified foundational Black Americans. So this whole Donald Trump indictment situation, Joe Biden, the charges and all that shit, trust and believe foundational Black Americans are in their thought process because they don't want to fuck up the erasure that they've already spent so much time, energy, and effort doing, and Donald Trump would throw a wrench in that erasure. So I said I was going to take you out in the ocean. I was going to bring you back to shore. Well, now we are back to shore, and we know that this has everything to do with us and our future and stopping the erasure. And by the way, a lot of Black folks is looking at Donald Trump's deportation plan, and we saying, hell, that sounds pretty goddamn good. That sounds damn good. I don't know about anybody else, but 11 million this shit, man, I'll go down and motherfucking build a wall with them. Shit, I'll pack a fucking lunch. Hey, you see, and a lot of brothers and sisters are saying that same exact thing. So they see that as well. That's why these motherfuckers like Trailer Park Matthew, who was in here. What'd he say earlier? Hey, what Trailer Park Matthew? What'd he say, Zilla? He said, y'all's trying to go for the Democrats. Didn't he say that?
Yes, he did.
See, and you remember the last guy who came in here, and he said something about the Democrats and the rainbow community. Remember that as well?
Facts.
So you see right here, they understand that a lot of Black folks is looking over to Donald Trump, not because we fuck with Donald Trump, but we looking over to Donald Trump because we understand that we can use his policies against the Democratic policies, one in which foundational Black Americans will be getting erased. It's all about playing chess, not checkers, and foundational Black Americans got all the pieces at the table. I'll send it to our sister Miriam, and then we'll send it to our brother T, because I see you, T.
Indeed. All of what you said, on point, on fire, as I like to tweet out or text out when I'm listening to the three juggernauts. Man, hit them with that hard, raw truth, brother, as you can only bring it. Shout out to you, Queen Black Alpha. Shout out to you, Love. Shout out to Brother Sage. I know Sister D. Tubman was in the space. I don't know if she's still here, but shout out to you. And shout out to you, Brother Just Real. It's so many of you I love. Peace, love, light, prosperity, and we're going to get our check. Regardless of what the bullcrap that they try to push forward, we're not falling for it. You know, we're not walking on no one's tightrope. As you say, if you come in here with questions, be quiet, because a certified foundational Black American is speaking. You don't run nothing. You don't dictate how this conversation will go. So if you come here acting like you're dumb and we already know how you moving, like I said, the crab walk to the side, the crab walk back, forward, in circles, we already aware of it. And they are trying to implement all these different programs, they are trying to siphon off our reparations, but guess what? It's still a debt owed. So you can sit up there and try to allocate funds if you want to, but we're going to make sure that we are in these positions. That's why I say push the line. Beautiful, certified, foundational Black Americans. We have to push the line, meaning we have to mine our own cities, meaning we have to get on those boards. As Sister Blueberry was saying, you got to start with the education, the school board, regulatory affairs, the treasurer, pre-city committeeman, councilman, mayor, senator. This is how it works. This is how we have to move, because we know all these skin folks, definitely not our kin folks. And 98% of those mother effers that are in there are a tether or a bumper class. We know they damn tethers because of their mindset, their colonialized mindsets. And they are crawling for crumbs. All they need is a pet on their damn head. They will do things for free, long as they could touch down on this American soil and siphon off our resources. So, and that does not apply to the writers who are from the diaspora. That does not apply to you. So please do not come up here with hurt feelings, holding on to shit since kindergarten, taking it throughout your adult life and passing it on to your children and grandchildren. Enough with that bullshit. Get a backbone. Shit. Get a mind rinse. For real. Because either you for us or you against us. As Bush said, actions are evil. Either you with us or you're against us. For real. We have to start looking at these people as the ops as they are. Too many of our movements, too many of our programs, too many of our black grassroots and things of that nature have been co-opted. So you're going to get vetted from the rooter to the tutor. You better believe it. Anybody who's coming around us have to be vetted. Hell, if you move off code, I'm going to look at you sideways. I'm going to do that G-checking on you with love. You know, like they say, from Russia with love. Well, I'm going to do that G-checking with love. You know, I ain't going to assassinate nobody, but I'm damn sure going to give you some straightening. And you could take it as a emotionally mature adult, or you could be a damn kid. Boy, that space the other day, that was a damn disgrace. That was a shame. It really was. You had grown-ass men with their testosterone all over the place, fighting one another like they were a bunch of damn 12-year-olds. Couldn't even get a word in sideways. Jipping people, all type of crap. Boy, I don't have anything against the people who dub themselves as Negro, because we all know that that is found on some of our documents stating all the way back even to slavery. Black and Negro were interchangeable. So I love my brothers and sisters from that. But that talent person, I don't rock with him. I didn't realize who he was. That's the one that Tariq Nasheed, you know, pulled this motherfucking card. Because why would you have a gun buyback fucking program for our youth, and they have to register, and then they get, I think, $3 or a few dollars or whatever? I mean, bruh, it's suspect. Even if your intentions is good, how you going about it is wrong. Just like the black churches. If you got to fill out forms and shit like that in order to go in their church, they are submitting this to the government, and they cannot be a voice in the community to stand up, just like the broke down ass policies NAACP. Those damn crap in the barrel old ninjas. We're tired of them. You know, we're sick of that. The Urban League, none of these serve us. These were instituted and backed by white money, and we know who their paymasters are and who they answer to. So it's up to us to form our own certified foundational black coalitions and do what we need to do, whether it's militia, whether it's education, whether it's health, whether it's spiritual work, whether it's gardening or farming, doing your own private gardening, whether it's educating our children. This is the must. This is nation building. This is how you nation build. This is survival for us. And we always been the fittest. So we have to know about water filtration, all of that. And take the time to meditate when it needed, because everybody has to decompress, because this can become overwhelming. So take your mental health when you need it. And also make sure you are doing some type of calisthenics, work your body, do some deep breathing. Some people are runners. That's fine, but you kind of burn your light out a lot with running. But, you know, do that deep breathing that is needed. So that's all encompassing. So I'll yield my time and I'll let Brother T.E. come up and speak. There you go, brother.
Man, I don't want to follow that. Hell. But can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Got you loud and clear.
All right. Yeah, man. I was just about to say, like, it's very apparent now that they want to continue this underclass position that black folks have held since slavery and so forth, all the way from 100 years ago, not 100, but World War I, all the way up into the war that's Ukraine. If you notice, every 50, 30, 40, 50 years, the same folks they fight or the same folks going to war, they come over here. He's an immigrant. He's a tether his damn self. You know what I'm saying? Majority of the wealthy white folks we'll never see. You know, they don't come down to the cities. That's only one little dot on the map. Why the fuck would they come down to the little dot on the map? Call Detroit, call Philly, call Houston, call whatever. They just trying to keep a permanent underclass in these cities, man, where these trade lines are. You know what I'm saying? If you look at the timeline of what happened, the dollar bill rises and falls, wars. Everything else is in between. We're the in between right now. You know what I'm saying? We just choose not to be an underclass anymore. We need to figure out a way, because majority of folks not on the internet at all. Just the few that's on here. It might seem like a lot of us, but y'all know 1,000 niggas who ain't even messing with this shit. We need to figure out a way to get this reparations and what's owed to us out. We need to get on the offense right now on spreading the message of this reparations and make it cool and sexy again. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what I've been doing. You know what I mean? So that's the blackness right there. That's the FBA-ness right there. You know what I'm saying? Because I done, we done been there, done that. Football, basketball, everything. You know what I'm saying? So it's time to get the message out, because economically they already reversing all the bills that they already created, and they could wake up and say one day no more affirmative action, and every white company can only hire white folks. They can do that any second. You know what I'm saying? So we need to get on the offense now, because all their laws are about to change, because these new immigrants coming in, the new white folks coming, called the Ukrainians now. War, and we've been a permanent underclass, and we're making it without any international backing, without any fucking real money. We finessing these motherfuckers. We infiltrated all of these shit low key. I shouldn't have said it on here, but we are in the government. We are in the police force. We are in the schools. As far as them taking over school board, we shouldn't have been in their schools in the fucking first place. So take the kids out. Maybe Dr. Umar might get some money if we get our reparations, get motherfucker. And I'll land my plane.
I don't know if I want my child in that school though, bruh. But it'll be wonderful if he get one. His will be better than going to theirs.
Oh, for real though. I mean, but I absolutely feel you about being on the offensive with the messaging, because for those of us, like, I'm a musician, so I play at a church, and looking at the things that go on in a church, man, it's like, this is the place to where that message needs to be booming. And if you're going to say we're going to pray for a blessing, I don't need to praise my way to reparations. I need to say I need reparations. So to see all of this base of blackness just doing everything against talking about for reparations, but now because of Amos, what's that brother's name, Amos Brown out of San Francisco? Thanks to him, he's kind of lets you know where the church line is. And they on some slavery shit, for real. They are on, let's just stay on the plantation. I mean, we can't make these white folks mad. Hell, just like Brother T said, what do you want to do with coming to this little black area? It's a target. It's by design. And look at where I live in Portland. Look at where black folks was in Seattle. All of these places to where we live, or we have freeways or hospitals or stadiums now, these are all major hub points in all of these different major cities. So we already know what America does to black folks. To have folks not supporting cash payments for reparations is an absolute atrocity and treacherous. So we see where the church is standing right now, and we absolutely have to be proactive. And I mean, for those of y'all in this space, why don't you ask your pastor, why ain't the church talking about reparations? Because wouldn't you stand to get the greatest 10% of a dying entity? The black church is dying like a mug, man. And how would it look for your parishioners to get broke off with reparations? That's a hell of a 10% check, ain't it? And then they start getting businesses, boy, you'd have the black church booming again. But because you got your head so far up them Democrats' ass, hey, man, you finna go to the ways of the dodo. The black church is headed towards the dodo bird, man. And it's all their fault. And those old Negroes and the people of that ilk who want to stand in the way of our success in reparations, we need to write them Negroes off. And there's a lot of them that are in the house. Everybody doesn't want to make it. See, we always say everybody ain't gonna make it. we have to be under the realization that not everybody wants to make it. Some of these people are completely content being oppressed. It's like Florida Evans, like, James, if the good Lord wanted us to have money, he would have made us white. You feel what I'm saying, Alpha?
Hey, I'm going to update it all the way, family. They say not everybody going to make it, or Black Alpha, I done changed that to say every motherfucker ain't going to get an invite because I don't want them to come. When this jet take off, they asking to be sitting there right there at the goddamn airport and they can watch us fly away. You ain't getting an invite. You're just not welcome. That's how we got to approach this type of situation. This thing where everybody's black can come on in, or everybody who's black is qualified to speak on reparations. Fuck that. If you ain't talking no sense, you got to go. And I don't give a fuck what color you are. They say, where you from? Do you qualify for reparations? My point is, it ain't do you qualify about reparations. My key is if you don't even qualify to speak on reparations, your ass can't talk to me. If you come in here talking that NAACP shit, I don't give a fuck if you 3 shades darker than midnight. Your ass cannot come. If your ass is in here talking about they's going to get mad at us, don't rock the boat, your ass cannot come. If you come in here talking about vote blue no matter who, anybody but Trump, your ass cannot come. It's regulator season. And the more we get on code, the more we're going to have to be airtight. The games is over. It's not really that fun era, man. We got to be really business like a professional, like our brother T was just saying. These motherfuckers can wake up any day and just flip the game on us. They could just write a law tomorrow and everybody's going to say, hey, let's go along with it. Man, fuck that. Straight up, we got to be precise with everything we say. Oh, we got a show tonight. Matter of fact, I need y'all to tap into the Black Alpha Network tonight. My brother Afro Lee, my brother Sage, I see you. They're going to be my guest on there. We're going to talk about the conspiracy against foundational Black Americans, and we're going to break it down very thoroughly. It ain't just going to be something where we're very vague with it and just say tether, tether, tether. No. It's going to be a real clinical breakdown about every single sector of society, financially, economically, socially, publicly, privately, collectively, the whole world, and how foundational Black Americans are the main target. As I was saying about the Donald Trump situation, the Ukraine situation, every single one of those has something to do with trying to stop us. So tap into the Black Alpha Network tonight at 8 o'clock. We're going to cook. But as I say that, let me say this as well. We as a people, as a society, we're breaking things down so where everybody understands that we lineage based and we're not coming off of it. See, they thought we'd be done by now. They thought we'd be tired and go take a nap and be like, all right, we done doing this reparations thing. We done doing this lineage thing. Because Black folks in the past would get tired. They had talked that shit for about 2 weeks. Motherfuckers go twerk at a protest. They go try to twerk for justice, and then they be done. We ain't doing that. We riding thoroughly. And they see that we're not getting tired. And they see that we staying strong and true to our word, and we planted that goddamn flag, and we ain't going nowhere. They not used to the foundational Black American. They used to the African American. The African American, he'll talk some shit and won't do nothing. The African American, he'll talk some shit and they get tired, go take a nap, go fucking fall asleep for 30 years. Stop during the civil rights era and don't wake up until Trayvon Martin. We ain't doing that shit. We stay on game all the goddamn time. So no matter what they're trying to do, we're ready for it. You got brothers and sisters in this space right now, and I see y'all who have professional expertise in every single area. There's brothers and sisters who know about the tech world. We were just talking about our sister Blueberry. You as well, Brother Zilla. You got folks who are social. Like you were just saying, Sister Miriam, you could talk about folks getting their self-defense game up, folks being teachers, whatever. We got it all. You ain't got to look outside the circle. We used to always try to look outside the circle to try to go get new recruits. We don't need no goddamn new recruits. That's why I'm comfortable with saying if your ass ain't talking sense, you can stay home. I don't need nobody. There used to be this notion that we got to have every single Black person on earth to be on code to make a move. That's that Dr. Umar shit. That's that Pan-African shit that we're going to wake up tomorrow and every last Black person is just going to be friends and shit. We don't need that, because the more you start getting outside the circle, the more you're allowing bullshit to infiltrate. You feel me? During slavery, you didn't need every single last Black person to revolt. During Reconstruction, you didn't even need half Black folks to reconstruct. You could take 10 of us and we'd build some shit. During the Civil Rights era, I'm gonna tell you something nobody want to talk about. During the Civil Rights era, a lot of Black folks were scared then. We got this notion that brothers and sisters was all out in the Civil Rights era, holding it down. No, they wouldn't. No, they wouldn't. There's what we call on the Black Alpha Network certified 100. And all it takes is that certified 100. Not 2, 3, 4, 5, that certified 100 to get the job done. And if you look, the certified 100 have always been the people. From slavery to Reconstruction, the Civil Rights era to right now, we all are the certified 100, because you're going to have a space later on, and it's going to be a fucking Luke space. And Luke going to be in there talking about, be nice to everybody. And the Democrats is going to come in. We don't need the whole goddamn black race. All we need is a certified 100. And typically when you see a certified 100, they're typically foundational black Americans. So when you add all that up, we ain't got to look outside of who we are. We don't have to look outside of where we at. We don't have to look no further than what we're doing. As long as we got all that done, we're going to make everything happen. And if you see it, and if you're really honest with yourself, you see we got results right now. We're getting real results. I just sat here and listened to that O&B, and you had a lot of people saying whatever they want to be, but folks were saying foundational too. You had motherfuckers talking about, I represent ADOS because we're the foundation of America and the foundation of society. So they know what time it is. They may not say it out loud, but they know what it is. They know very well. I watch these presidential campaigns and they asking folks about reparations. Let me ask everybody this. Go back to the Obama era, or go back to when Trump was president. Did y'all ever think that they'd be talking about reparations and having reparations hearings? Did anybody really think they'd be doing that shit in less than 5 years? Hell no. Hell no. Well, nobody would have ever said they'd be doing that, but they are. And that's all because of us. So we carry the weight, and we are the standard of blackness across the whole goddamn planet. Whether people like it, love it, or accept it, they're going to have to deal with it. John Horst, it's on you, brother.
Yeah, I was just going to say, man, you know, when it comes to reparations, how can I say this? I know the next situation that we have, because unfortunately, you know how the race soldiers are, and you know the system that we live in. Anything that happens from this point on, any type of discrimination that y'all go through on y'all jobs or whatever, don't matter what it is, reparations needs to be in that forefront. We just got to just put it all out, all the way out there, no matter what. You know what I'm saying? We can you could always utilize chaos to bring forth your agenda quicker. You know what I mean? The white supremacists do that all the time through these other countries and nations and stuff like that. So we as foundational black Americans, we could do the same thing when it comes to reparations. You know what I'm saying? You know, we're going to end up having a 2020 situation again. But this time when we do, reparations need to be at that forefront specifically for us. You know what I'm saying? Any situation, if somebody talking about Carol Bryant, we need reparations for FBA. You know what I'm saying? It just, everything got to be about reparations. Whatever, any situation, that's just what it got to be. Anybody, you know, that situation that just happened down in Mississippi, reparations. This is why we need reparations. Immigration, all those illegal immigrants coming over here, anti-black. Yeah, this is why we need reparations. Now land.
Go ahead, Afro. Are you there, brother?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm going to be brief because I have an exam coming up. But now I want to repeat something that I've said in a video before, and even Tariq has said this in a different way. In world history, and I'm going to start this off by saying this is why it's important for us to understand and know what world history is, because in world history, when people migrate or move to another part of the world and they develop that world, they develop their own language, their own culture, sometimes even their own religion, and sometimes they don't even have to do that. Sometimes they can just go build different cities and villages and their own system of over at that land, and they become part of that land. That land restarts their people, and their people spring from that land. Okay. And how we know this is because everybody, if we go way, way, way back to early human history, everybody really came from the same place. And then human beings in general, we spread across the world. And when we spread across the world, different people from different places develop different languages, diets, religions and customs and things like that. And that became a part of that land. Okay. So when we say we are from Africa, maybe, and we do know we're native, but let's say all 100% of us came from the slave ships for the sake of the argument. Hundreds and hundreds of years ago, so many generations have passed since then. We came to a land that wasn't developed. We've developed it. We've cultivated it. The language is different. The culture is different. The food is different. The religions, even though some of them might be the same, but everything about it is different. So by definition and by the standards of everyone else, we are just a different ethnicity. Nobody goes anywhere around the world. Whatever your great grandfather was, that's what you are, not your great grandfather. Because if we're going to be honest, we've been here on this very land for at least, a lot of Foundation Black Americans, for at least 6 or 7 generations. And that's being very generous. So 6 or 7 generations, how many more generations do we have to go through to say we're a part of this land? You know what I'm saying? Because and here's what we use when we have this argument. If a Nigerian says, I'm Nigerian, my dad's Nigerian, my grandpa and his grandpa is Nigerian. Oh, well, do you know that your grandpa's grandpa is actually from Ethiopia, so you're really Ethiopian? That they don't apply it to that, because they know for a fact, okay, once you've been here, once your ancestry has been on the land for a significant amount of time, then you are a part of that land. This is your ethnicity. We've been removed so much from Africa for such a long period of time to an undeveloped land and then redevelop the land. We are, by all means and by all standards, a new ethnicity. This is how the world works. If the world didn't work this way, everybody in the world would be one ethnicity. Ethnicity would not exist. When people talk about race as a social construct, ethnicity is a social construct. And these are the rules of ethnicity. So and to wrap it up, because I know I was being a little long, but to wrap it up, by the definition of the word, we are a completely different ethnicity from the African continent. And that's not a bad thing. That's just what the truth is.
Peace, brothers and sisters. Peace. Now, we cannot be deterred from within. We cannot let the house niggas, such as Anus Brown, NAACP, and National Urban League, and those type of organizations, see, when they get broke off with all of their money, they're going to take it for themselves and leave everybody else outside in the cold. You see, Amos Brown was paid to tell us not to take that money. It was back in February. The San Francisco NAACP got $50 million from Wells Fargo. You can look it up on any of the news, okay? And then that $5 million calculation by the San Francisco Board of Supervisors or City Council, that's a lowball estimate, folks. Yeah, that's a lowball estimate. $5 million up front, $100,000 for the next 10 years. And their job in NAACP, National Urban League, is to tell us what to do, how to do it, and to push these failed Democrat policies, whether it's in San Francisco, whether it's in Seattle, whether it's in Portland, whether it's New York City, Philadelphia, anywhere. We pull our money and we pull our resources from the current system, and we go back to our economic, social, political enclaves. Democrat Party, no more. Republicans, they can't use us anymore either, because now we got ourselves built. We've got horizontal and vertical business structures where we got our money. We can go to the table and bargain and get some more. Okay, thank you for the $5 million reparations up front money. I already started up my businesses and so on and so forth. Now I can go over here and lobby for some more money. And then at the same time, I'm teaching my son, daughter, and grandkids and everybody in my neighborhood, because we got our own nonprofits now. We got our own NGOs. We don't have to worry about what the white man set up to keep us down. No, what did Dorothy Height do? Yeah, Sister Dorothy Height. Yeah. All those other brothers and sisters in our illustrious history set up our own advocacy groups for ourselves. We didn't have to go into this rainbow coalition under the big tent nonsense. That was the biggest sellout that Jesse Jackson and all them other old line Negroes did to us, selling out our interests to go help somebody else, prop them up so they can kick us out the way and tell us, hey man, you're the permanent underclass. We don't need you anymore. So all we have to do is just say, you know what? Start looking out for our best interests. And as Miriam says, start checking them right at the gate. Start checking them hard. You can even check me. I don't care, because I'll still tell you the same thing. Fuck you. What you bringing to the table other than your whining ass and your excuses? Okay? I had people check me. I'm fine. I know where I am and know who I am and where I stand. Do you know what the fuck you're doing? That's all. I yield my time.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And I totally agree. You know, that's kind of the line that the NOI has been pushing for a long time, is the separation. Again, and of course, when we are left alone with our own devices and our own building together as a community, we always do fine. That's the reason why you have that's why I-5 is placed where it is over here. You know, that's why the Memorial Coliseum is built. That's why Emmanuel Hospital was set right there in the north side. So, I mean, and I can only imagine probably in every major city where black folks had a booming business district, that's probably where your freeway is now. And so we've definitely done it before. The only issue is these folks came through with the eminent domain. So we actually, this time around, we are really, really gamed up for all of the tricks. And I don't think that they really expected this move or wave to happen so quickly. But truth be told, the old NAACP generation is dying off. Of course, they do have a lot of these new faces in their midst that they're trying to get them gamed up and get them ready to come out here and sell us out. So, you know, you got a whole new generation of sellouts. But I do believe the Boule Greek fraternity sorority class, I believe that they have had a ton of steam knocked off of their influence, because ain't nobody listening to them Negroes no more. I know I sure in the hell ain't. I mean, what about you, Black Alpha?
Nah, man, we don't pay attention to them, man. You know, they fell off, man, a long time ago. And that's the beauty, again, of this era. Anybody who had control over the community, they don't have the control that they used to. The old, Boule folks, they don't have any power. The Democratic Party obviously has lost their power. I mean, you see them fading fast. So everybody's lost power. Nobody has control over certified foundational Black Americans. We are the ones who are setting the trends. And that's what they don't like. Oh, I got another one for you. The old Black media. You can add that as well. The old Black media ain't got no power. They ain't got no power neither. Because if you watch we literally seen Michael Erica Dyson and Marcus Lemoist Hill. We sat there and seen them have a whole breakdown on air. And they were upset, basically saying, translation, is that the new Black media is whooping our ass. Nobody listens to us. We have no influence no more. We can't do anything. So it's not just us saying these things. We're not out here just speaking just because. We're literally breaking down the factual reasons why the new Black media is done, why the NAACP is done, why the Boule is done, and the Democratic Party is done, and it's all based upon us. I always say this. You take Roland Martin, and you put his face up, and then you put Tariq Nasheed up, every Black person is going to identify and recognize Tariq Nasheed before they would ever recognize Roland Martin. And Roland cannot stand that. That burns him. He cannot stand that. Michael Erica Dyson can't stand it. Marcus Lemoyce Hill can't stand that. Jamil, I wish I was a Karen. I wish I was a Becky Hill. She can't stand that. They don't like that the faces in the new black media and the voices in the new black media are so much more prominent than they are. It's the dawn of a new day. It's the dawn of a new era. I mean, they just had the damn Selma Bridge thing again, like the 299th, reunion of that. I mean, they was out there in wheelchairs. Literally, I'm not even clowning. Jesse Jackson was in a wheelchair. Al Sharpton's goddamn perm was blowing in the wind. It was pathetic. And black folks didn't even know that was going on. Nobody even knew what it was. You feel me? So this shows you that we are the ones who are influencing and we are the ones pushing the line. And it's a beautiful time. There used to be a day where you had to be 337 years old to have power in the black community. That's not happening. It's young voices out here speaking truth to power, making things happen, learning from our on code elders. And that's a beautiful thing. And that's why we are rising. That's why they are falling. Man, it's funny how when you make things happen, you just sit back and you watch it all fall into place, family. We say why foundational black Americans, the standard of blackness. And then, we got everything from Trailer Park Matt. They're going to get shirts of that made, man. Hey, they're going to be at the goddamn Brussels Sprouts convention with them T-shirts. You got Trailer Park Matt popping up. You got Ops popping up. You guys, y'all said Sarah Palin's popping up. It just goes to show you that we are definitely on game. I always say on the Black Alpha Network that, we don't have to look to other people's examples of excellence because we're not everybody else. We are our own. So our excellence looks different than everybody because we different than everybody. Too many times do black folks try to say, well, they're doing it like this. Let me do it like that. Nah, you do it your way. Our way is the best. So our victories don't look like everybody else's victories because we're not them and they damn sure ain't us. So what we're doing right now is we're creating a new atmosphere. We're creating a new wave. As you just said, brother, this is the first time in history. And I always bring that home. Somebody wrote me on my YouTube channel and they told me, they said they love my content because I always center it in black excellence. And I say, shit, ain't nothing better than that. What else we going to do? We're not going to walk around with our head down. We're going to walk with our head to the sky. That's how we were created. That's how we are. That's why we get by. Trust me, family. If we weren't winners and we weren't survivors, we wouldn't even be here. So our very existence today, the very fact that we can sit here and have this conversation shows you that we are exceptional, as Dr. Claude Anderson always tells us. So we are winning right now. And you can tell when you winning, all these people come out. Trust me, they wouldn't be hating on you if you was broke. They wouldn't be hating on you if you was losing. These people running around here, Burna Boy, talking that stuff about foundational black Americans, while he duplicates our culture in a very bad way. He wouldn't be saying what he's saying and doing what he's doing if foundational black Americans weren't getting it in. You feel me? Trailer Park Matt would have been in his trailer park with his blow up dog. He would have been doing that. You feel me? But instead he felt the time to get on his, whatever and call us in. I was about to go there, Zilla. I'm gonna freeze. I ain't gonna go all the way in. We're gonna say that for the Black Alpha Cast tonight on YouTube. Y'all tap in. But he found the time to pull in to do, some fake trolling on what we got going on our side. And that's because we are exceptional. So if you ever want to see victories, just watch the way the ops pull up. When the ops start pulling in, you know what it is. Cat Williams, Cincinnati, Ohio. Cat Williams said, keep you some haters. And y'all know we got a whole lot of haters. So that just shows you and confirms to you that we doing something completely different. This is a completely different era. And I'm always on record saying it's a beautiful time to be alive. If you ever wanted to be a certified foundational black American, this is the time right now. We don't have to worry about getting it loose. There's an old interview with Tupac Shakur. And y'all might have seen it where Tupac said, if you think he bad, he said, wait till you see this next guy. And the next guy he was talking about was this generation of all of us. That's what he said. He said, shit, y'all got a problem with me. Wait till this next guy come along. And that's exactly who it is. That's who we are. We are those next people in which he was talking about. And this is what it is. I always say we are our ancestors' best dream. And we are the dominant society's nightmare. And we're going to make sure that they stay having a nightmare. They waking up, I told y'all, in all types of cold sweats. The Tethers is having Jollof cold sweats. The goddamn people of color is having fajita cold sweats. Clyburn having fish fry cold sweats. Kamala Harris is having collard green cold sweats. I mean, Hillary Clinton having hot sauce, goddamn cold sweats. They mad and they don't know what to do because they're not used to this right now. They're not used to people saying, man, we're going to do what we do. We're going to stand on 10. And that's exactly what we're doing. And I love it. Our certified foundational black American women are winning like never before. Never before. You're going to have these little swirlers pop up, right? But what happens every time y'all see a swirler? Our certified sisters G-check their ass. It don't just be the brothers. I seen it personally. Our sisters get with them off top, off rip. They don't go for that stuff. When whoever pops up, our brothers put them in check. And that's what that's how we get things done. So we stand together and we rise together. and they're just going to have to deal with it. And we are the standard, and the standard don't just end with today. The standard going to be the standard tomorrow, as it's always been. I always say this: we're not out here trying to create victories. We're just claiming the victories that we've already had. Before, foundational Black Americans used to have a lot of victories, but they would try to give them away. They'd be like, "Oh, here, y'all can have this. Y'all can have this." Hip hop. We would have a victory of hip hop. Next thing you know, they said, "Fat Joe, you can have it." Now you see what's going on with our brother Tariq Nasheed making a hip hop documentary. We said, no, we about to claim what we create. We about to claim what we create. As I said, I just seen our brother, Dr. Kabahai Wathakamane in Atlanta. And one of the things he said, own your greatness. And I'm going to take that message that he said to us in the audience, and I'm going to take that and I'm going to give it to everybody here. Own your greatness. If you are great, own that shit. If you're a winner, be one. Act like one. I'm tired of seeing folks win and walk around with a loser mentality. We ain't got no loser mentality. That's not where we from. Being a certified foundational Black American is not just your lineage. Being a certified foundational Black American is the way you operate within your lineage. And we operate in an exceptional fashion. So we're going to own our greatness. We're going to walk around like the bosses, the champs that we are. And people just going to have to deal with it because they ain't got no choice. They have no choice. It's not, I mean, we're not asking them, hey, man, deal with me if you want to. You know, you can if you would. Hell to the no. We telling you, you're going to have to get down or you're going to have to fall back. Because this is our time and this is our era. We back for everything you owe. We coming for all the money. We want all the dollars. Okay, we want them 20s and 50s and 100s. You give me the goddamn pennies and nickels to quarters. I want it all, straight up. Somebody had a space the other day. They said, is reparations just about money? I said, reparations is about money and every other thing that we owe. You better give it to me now. I want the whole 10. That's exactly the way we operate and the way we function. And if you notice, I don't know about anybody else, but there's a different look in people's eyes when you out here. When you see the on-code brothers and sisters, there's a different energy, and we all feel it. This ain't like 10 years ago. If you think that the energy amongst our lineage feels the same way as it did 10, 15 years ago, your ass is blind. You need to go get you a drug test. You can walk down the street. When you see brothers and sisters who are on code, who really about it, you can sense the energy. You can sense the vibration. You can feel the frequencies. We're not playing. This is not a game. We are really out here trying to get it because we're talking about the youth who's coming up underneath us. We're not passing them down to NAACP. We're not passing them down people of color, minorities. That shit was all passed down to us, and we seen how bad it was. The dominant society knows what they owe us. So when they come in here and they start talking that shit like, well, we don't know yet. What are we telling them? We telling them goddamn right you know. And whether you know or not, you're going to hand it over. That's what we're doing. So the kids, we're going to pass the baton to, they're going to start off and they're going to know about tethers. They're not going to have to figure it out like we had to. They're going to know about the Black and Brown coalition. They're not going to have to figure it out like we had to. They're going to know about the Democratic Shields, the NAACP, all these fuckers. They're going to know about it. So when you take away the aspect of spending half of your life trying to figure out who the ops are, and you already start knowing who the ops are, knowing who's coming against you, and you already have that head start, boom. Y'all all seen those little paintings that they make, and they'll show the dominant society, their kids that have a head start over our kids. That's not happening no more. Our kids are going to have a head start over them because we're going to understand where they are and how they're trying to function. So it's a different day, it's a different time, it's a different age. Foundational Black Americans certified are in the building, and the whole goddamn world is going to have to accept it. We are the standard, and there's only one, and that is us.